Alright, I think we're up. Yes, we are. Good morning. It is Saturday morning. Pitbull, thank you for being here first thing in the morning. How you doing? Welcome back to the stream. We are level 45. I'll take down this mess here in a second. But for those that are watching the stream post-stream, we'll knock out the rules for the Ironman challenge real quick. First off, there is no dying. There's no gear above white quality. Graves are okay. No gear enchants. No talents. No potions. No flasks. No elixirs. No joining groups or raids, no killing dungeon or raid bosses, no food buffs, no XP boosting activity, no pet battling, no battlegrounds, no bodyguards, no professions except for first aid. Lops. Good morning, Lops. How are you doing? And then we'll talk about I think everyone's kind of more or less familiar with the Warlocks on the left, so we'll try to get into it as early as possible today, actually. Make this as an efficient run as we possibly can. So with that, let's see. There we go. Alright, let's go in there. How's your morning going, Lops? And Pitbull, good morning once again. Thanks. Doing fine so far. What about yourself? We're doing pretty good. I had a little bit of a late start, so trying to catch up and keep up. With that being said, let me go ahead and start out with the Hearthstone. Which is not, it's actually Hearthstone. So I think we left yesterday where we had to go back over here and kill 12 of these guys. So as per normal, we'll do the quick little rare check. I don't think he's up. Stay away from that guy. Lops says, what's going on? Not much, Lops. We're Saturday morning, and we're gonna see how far we can get. Phil is typically pretty good leveling, so I think we will level. I'm hoping to get to level 50 today. That's the goal. I just need to figure out where in this area do I actually need to run into here. Paradin says, morning Qyune. Lady Qyune and Sam. Hope you all are well. We're all awake and doing well. Sam's passed out on the cushion. Lady Qyune's about to start her pet battle, so we're all doing pretty good. Nikki, good morning. How are you doing? Hope all is well. Let's see. We're going to check over here real quick, just because it's in the area. Avoid that guy, and let's see if we can see if he's up. If he's not, it's not too far out of our way. It's just an easy, probably 3 to 4 XP, or 3 to 4k XP, so I don't see him. Alright, so with that, we're going to go and head toward the questing area over here. Whoops. And avoid the bear. First thing in the morning, we're breaking all of our rules. We're going to outrun the bear, just to make sure that we can keep a competitive time. I think my level 45 time spent 18 hours 33 minutes, so I don't expect to be too competitive with either Only or Nail. Those guys have had some pretty low times, and I think Xantrix got a really low time as well. So he was saying something yesterday of leveling up to level 40 with only 8 hours of gameplay, maybe 9 hours. So that's extremely fast. So I'm not sure how he's doing it. I'm gonna have to take a look at his videos, but yeah, that's extremely fast. Pitbull says, "Gonna have a cigarette, don't die." We'll try not to. Let's see. Eric, Fire Eric. Good morning, Eric. How are you doing? I don't think I've seen you a couple days. Let's see if we can blow this guy up first, just because he's over there. Sam's probably gonna pull more than necessary, but just so this guy doesn't escape us. And we'll blow this one up as well. So yeah, that's about 4k XP. This quest will give us 7k, so it's still about half of our half a quest, so that's not too bad. Still not worth going too far out of our way, but still worth farming. But yeah, Eric, we're doing pretty well. Like I said, nothing too out of the norm. It was a slow start today, so I'm hoping that I'm fully awake and able to quickly knock out any of the dangers. For the most part, Failwood's pretty straightforward leveling, but sometimes that can be deceptively safe, if that makes any sense. So you just want to be as astute and as attentive as possible, because it does, death sometimes does sneak up on you. But Paul also says, hey Fiery, hey Eric. And Eric says, I'm good here, been away from home for a few days since I haven't been in the stream. How's the Warlock race going? It's going fairly well, actually. I think we have over 50 people who've participated. I don't have the most recent update. I think Qyune is currently streaming, so once he provides an update, I'll upload that into the next stream. But yeah, it's going really well. And you know, on a side note, the Friends for Impact guys, the ones that we're kind of raising the awareness for, they've actually met their goal of 5,000 pounds, so that's kind of exciting. I'm just glad we were able to be a part of that to some extent. But yeah, other than that, it's going really well. The like I said, we have some people. We have 2 people who've already hit level 60. One of them did die, but Nell is probably, I wouldn't be surprised if she's in the mid 40s right about now, just to keep up with us. Alright, so that's 9. Let's go ahead and blow this guy up. But yeah, I think this is probably the best spec when it comes to speed. But the downside that we have is that one, streaming it does slow it down to a certain extent, but also the fact that we're on Kalimdor. I want to say that Eastern Kingdoms has a little bit faster questing in general. It seems like Xantric, Nell, Only, Qyune, all those guys have been leveling on Eastern Kingdom, so it seems like that's a bit more competitive as far as speed goes. We might have to see, we might have to give that a shot later on and see if Eastern Kingdoms is worth our while, but I don't think we should do it during the race, just because the I would have to go through that whole learning curve once again. Oops, that guy did aggro. We'll go ahead and summon Sam back here. I thought I summoned him. Oh, I don't have enough soul shards. Okay. Alright, so with that, we're going to run until we get that soul shard up, and then we'll summon Sam, we'll mount up, and we'll take off. Wine Salt says, good evening, Qyune. Good morning, Wine Salt. How are you doing? Welcome back. These guys are already respawning. Or no, they're not. That's just a different angle. Alright, so there we go. We got our 3 soul shards, and let's go turn this quest in real quick. I think it's... yeah. I did manage to switch my Hearthstone location after the stream. Just, I was afraid of me getting involved with the quest and then accidentally forgetting where I've set my Hearthstone, and then spending the next 10 or 15 minutes trying to fly back here from Thousand Needles. So with that being said, I did knock that out outside of the stream. And then with that, one thing I've noticed is that I've never really had a decent usage for professions. As you guys know, you can't use any sort of primary or secondary professions, but when it comes down to first aid, I really haven't had an instance where I've needed it. You know, most of my deaths have been either while in combat or so quick that I couldn't use them anyway. But that is 46. There we go. And we did get a follow-up quest, so we'll run this way. What's up, says all good. Thanks. Any troubles there? Not too much, other than me having a late start and being behind the curveball. If I have to be honest, I spent a little bit too much time on Argus this morning, trying to get the see if there's any chests or rares up before reset. And the thing about Argus is that it drops currency. It's Veiled Argonite that you can, once you get 650 pieces of it, I guess those are pieces, you can purchase a 910 piece of gear. But the almost the larger advantage is that they can proc, and I've had a relic proc to 925, another one proc to 935, so I'm trying to get the third one to proc, and I think I've purchased like 4 shadow relics so far, and I haven't had it proc. Plus, in combination with that, it's even though you say you purchase a Shadow Relic, it can be more ideal for a tanking spec versus a DPS spec, so you kind of want to be aware of that, and want to capture this little imp over here. I think he can hit hard from time to time, but I think that sometimes the larger worry is killing him. So let's jump over here, and we did manage to sell some more stuff, so I think we're just about good when it comes to gold and flying and anything like that. I think we're just about set. Let's see, I have 3,400 gold at the moment, so it's not too bad. Eric says, yep, Field Argonite Vendor is very nice. I've gotten a 940 trinket, really? Wow, that's really nice. I've seen someone get the Arcano trinket. And let's just see if we can drop a... Yeah, well, I think we're going to have to weaken him just a little bit. Can't do that yet. Let's get his health down just a little bit more. I think it's normally you want to get their house down to about 20%. It seems to be the turning point. There we go. So we got that. I haven't seen the wolf pop up this morning, so there's a good chance someone's already come through here and killed some of the rares. But yeah, the 940 is really nice. I think trinkets is what I'm going to work on next once I have the Shadow Relic upgraded. My main fear with the Shadow Relic is, oops. Wow, he hit us once and got us down to 73%. Dang. Okay, watch out for that. And let's go ahead and resummon Sam. But yeah, once I get the Shadow Relic, I'll probably go over and start pulling the slot machine lever for trinkets. See if I can get something around the 940 level. Pitbull says, how does this guy only have 982 subscribers? Ward goes nuts. Okay, Qyune, I said it. So give me my money. I'll pay you after the stream there, Pitbull. Appreciate that though. Thank you, sir. Let's see. So we need the imp. We need to collect 8 batches of all this stuff. And I think, yeah, this one. So I've gotten kind of into the system of where I'm utilizing Chaos Bolt more. So kind of wanting to stick with this spec to a certain extent, because I'm starting to get to the point after 45 levels, I know, but I'm starting to get to the point where I'm semi-efficient at it. Progressive, good morning, how are you doing? And let's go ahead and drain health. Blow this guy up as well. Sorry, say I agree, Q should have more subscribers, but thank you guys, I appreciate that. Like I said, for those handful at the moment. Usually Saturdays are a little bit slower for us, just because it's Saturday morning, people sleep in, or you know, if over in Europe and Australia, it's Saturday, so people are doing stuff outside of Warcraft. So it's expected, but I kind of like it when it's a small, you know, a smaller community on some days as well, just because kind of get to know people on a more one-on-one basis, talk to them, see what's going on in their lives, what they think about Warcraft, the state of it. So I don't know, I try not to focus too much on quantity. I think the higher focus should be on quality. So thank you guys for being here first thing in the morning. Appreciate that very much. With that, we're going to, we need how many more? 2 more. So we'll open up with Chaos Bolt. But yeah, like I said, I think this is the faster spec. It's just, I don't think it's going to be quite enough to compete with Only and Nail. We'll see though. We did hit 45. We did have 18 hours, so I think we'd have to hit 60 in about 5 hours of playtime, maybe 6 to be relatively competitive. Let's see. There is a rare location up here. There we go. Light this guy up real quick. I think that's the first time I've seen him. So that's kind of nice. We are getting into the level where you can get a lot of your higher level, or not higher, but more costly greens. I don't think we're going to see the really special ones until maybe in the 50s. I think that's when you start looking at your what do you want to call it? Your Jade Fire transmog set, the gold one, whichever one that's called. I think Conquerors. So while we're turning this in, I'm going to summon Sam once again. Use the Phase Blood Potion at the sigil of the shift into the Nether. Okay. So this one, I'm not necessarily nervous about, but I have a sneaking suspicion that if you do it wrong and you run outside of the summoning area, there's a good chance you could die. So that's not a big deal here. We kind of know what to do next. I can't remember which one despawns. That's got 550. I'm going to assume the one with the larger amount of health will make the one with the lower amount of health despawn. And let's see if we're right. Nope, that's incorrect. So let's try the imp next time just to see. Alright, so with that, let's see if we can blow this guy. Oh, okay. The rare is not rare, but the other mob is kind of in this direction for the most part. Okay, yep, there it is. So you want to kill the imp, the one with the lower amount of health. Surprisingly enough, right? Eric says quality over quantity. That's spirit. Exactly. Exactly. Especially when you start getting in those high numbers like that. The frequency of trolls and whatnot kind of plays a part, plays an impact. So there's good aspects to both sides of the curve there. So with that, we'll blow him up. And let's see, Pitbull says. She said, guess she never would. That's funny. Let's see, Paradin says, you sneak around the back here, Qyune, behind the trees. Hey, Papier. I think that's that. Papier? Yeah, Papier. Good morning, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. That guy hits like a truck. At this level as well, Chaos Bolt's long past the days where it would one-shot mobs. Especially, I think it stopped one-shotting mobs once we were over, I think, level, what, 30? Maybe 35? Alright, so we'll turn that in. And back to here we go. Paper says, you can call me Paper. Alright, Paper. Good morning, how you doing? Fire says, I'll be back in a moment. Alright, Eric. We'll be here. Be here for a little while. Let's see. Alright, so with that, we need to knock out the next series of quests. I don't think this has us go into tunnels just yet. I might be wrong. We'll see. I think at one point, I'm not sure when that we get that quest, but at one point we're gonna have to work our way up into the mountains. Like I said, I don't think we're quite there yet. Conspiracy says, hello, Qyune. Good morning, Conspiracy. How are you doing? Thank you guys for being a part of the stream. First thing Saturday morning, of all things. How is everyone? Diego says, gotta say, man, I really love your streams. Well, thank you, Diego. Appreciate you being a part of them. How are you doing? This paper says, I don't know if there will be a new expansion around at BlizzCon. You know, that's a really good question. I think the consensus is if there was an expansion, it definitely wasn't going to be while they were in Europe. I forget. I think that's Gamescom, right? And so I think they've already announced that this is going to be the last the last major expansion. Not expansion. Sorry. Patch. Last major patch. The other thing is this guy has an aggro on us for no reason. Alright, there we go. The other thing is that they did say this was going to be our last quote-unquote full tier. So that being said, I think that leaves the door open for them to give us another raid similar to the Hellier raid. I forget what that's called. But let's go. Let's see. We need 6 more of these guys, or 2 more of these guys. But yeah, I would be kind of surprised, but then again, maybe not, because by the time BlizzCon comes around, Legion will be out what, a year and a half. So yeah, that might be the time. Now I'm thinking about it, you might be right, Paper. Alright, so let's see. We still have to keep grinding our way through here. I want to say the pathways... Alright, we're in combat with something. I want to say it's this. If my name's red, it generally means that I'm in combat, so that's how I was able to notice that. But just be very careful of that. That is a very nice and quick way to die, is if you don't pay attention to whether or not you're in combat, like I am still, for some reason. You know, this mob could say kill this bear when I'm way over here, and then it turns around and pulls everything along its way. So just be careful. It's the little details like that that kind of tend to bite pretty hard. I'm still not sure what I'm in combat with, though. Unless these guys are all just looking at me and I'm not aware of it. That's alright. We'll light them all up. Excuse me. Diago says, best raid ever is ICC. Alright, let me think. What was... I did do ICC when it was current. That one was fun. I did enjoy that. I'm trying to think, though, if there's one that was comparable to that. I don't know. I did like Siege of Orgrimmar, to be honest. I thought that was pretty good. Alright, so this one's aggro to me from halfway across the map. Keithy says, hey, good morning, Keithy. So, Keithy is in chat here, Keithy1980. This is the man that's in charge of the Warlock race this month. So if you guys are interested in that, we are using his channel and kind of keeping it down to one resource. I don't want to split the group up, so we're going to stay in his channel and do the Ironman race and keep it there. And but he is leading the Friends for Impact, I guess, awareness run. Not necessarily a campaign, because excuse me, we're not directly generating money. It's just through awareness. Some people have donated, and like I said, they've pushed them past their 5,000 mark, so 5,000 pound mark. But if you have any information, the best way to get in contact with us is stop by Keithy's channel. I'm usually in there. I'll have it open, so whenever I have a chance, I'll stop by. I have quite a bit of yard work to do today, so I'll probably be away from it for hours at a time. But if you do have a question and nobody responds to it, or you just want to send me a private tell asking a question or whatever, you're more than welcome to do so. But yeah, going back to the race, or the raid, I think Siege of Orgrimmar was pretty fun. Alright, so let's go ahead and light this guy up before he calls in all his friends here. Like I said, the Chaos Bolt does, especially with the named mobs, hardly gets them down to half health. So we are getting into a little bit of a different power dynamic when it comes to these named mobs and whatnot. Let's see, that's going to be back this way, so maybe we'll run from this angle. I may be in charge by Silver Cold. Conspiracy says, hey, Papers, your name's Sam. I have no idea. Sometimes when chat picks up like this, I do get behind, so if you guys are new to the stream, I do prioritize chat as much as possible. But if I do get behind and you're trying to get in contact with me directly, feel free to ask the question again or make the comment again, obviously without spamming. But I do prioritize chat, so if I do get behind, let me know. Or, you know, just repeat the question and I'll touch bases. Right now we're trying to level as quickly as possible, just to stay relatively competitive. Oops. There we go. And we'll make our way around this tree. Nice. Worked out better than I thought it would. Lop says, best raid boss Argon from... Algalon. There we go. Algalon from, shoot. Old War. Let me think. You know, I just did Tuma Sargeras with another streamer this past week, and I think my favorite boss is the one where you have the orbs. You have the orbs of different colors go around the room, and then you also have the bomb where you have to jump down in the hole before the bomb goes off. That fight is probably one of my first ones that I've actually really enjoyed. That was a fun little fight. let's see, we need to terrify imps here. This quest can be semi-dangerous, but I'm gonna put the quest item here. The reason being is that you have to run through here and fear all of the, or terrify, I guess is the terminology that they're using. Terrify all these little imps, but they do also hit you. So that the little item here has a little bit longer of a cooldown than I would be comfortable with. But we are just blowing this up right here. We're down to about 93% halfway through the quest here, so it's not too bad. I'm just hoping the quest item doesn't disappear once we've finished the quest. That would leave us in a little bit of a rough position here. Alright, so we are down to 70%. And how many do we have? We do have them all. Alright, so we're gonna safely make our way back out of here. And we'll sit down and eat real quick. I'll catch back up with chat. Keith says Pandarian are also in the lore as well. Undead are the Conspiracy says undead are the best. You know, Conspiracy, when I do the Horde Ironman, I think I'm settled on doing. Wow, that's interesting. Oh, lucked out with that. I think that's the first time the add-ons actually helped me. I would have completely missed this guy. Alright. I think I'm going to kill this one just so I can build my soul shards back up. I did actually use my Chaos Bolt. And Chaos Bolt is a 3-second cast. And if that's not enough, it also consumes 2 soul shards. If I can loot this thing. It also consumes 2 soul shards. So just want to use that. Not sparingly, but just kind of keep in mind that you don't want to use it when you only have 2 soul shards, especially if you're fighting something that hits like a truck, like this bear seems to be doing, because that puts you in a position where you can't resummon your pet. And some mobs like this one, and especially that one in Tanaris, I did say that right, Tanaris. Wow, it's all good. They do hit hard, so. What I was saying is that when you want to go into a fight, you want to go in with 3 soul shards just so you can use the Chaos Bolt and then summon your pet if need be. But to catch back up, Conspiracy says, I like Elegon. Yeah, that's actually the mount we're working pretty heavily on with the girlfriend just to see if we can get that mount for her. I'm not as big of a collector as she is, so we kind of shift all the mounts and pets that way, and then as I come across, there's like a handful that I really like. I want to get the one where it has multiple faces. It comes from Argus. I don't know which continent, but the mount that has multiple drawn eye faces on it, that is the one that I'm trying to hunt down. Alright, so with that, we'll turn in this quest here. Keith says, I'm enjoying demonology. Mobs hardly touch me, and I can burn them pretty quick. Keithy, what level are you at the moment? Have you tried the Felguard? That's one of the main reasons I want to give demonology a shot. But at this point in time, I've started to get so efficient with the destruction spec that I feel like if I switch back, I would slow myself down, especially in this zone. This one's relatively good for Ironman challenges. If you look on the spreadsheet, there's not even really too many quests that are associated with a high level of danger. So Keith says, I'm 25 now. Once I hit 40, I'll tell you. Alright, let me know. I'm actually kind of curious about that. So we need 8 of these things. There is a rare that pops up over here. I've killed him once or twice before. So we'll just kind of grind our way back here a little bit. Gold Goblin says, my favorite boss is Hogger. Very nice. It's when I want to say in Stormwind, and whatever that dungeon's called, we kill Hogger, or do we put him back in chains again? Barbell says, hey buddy, good morning Barbell, how are you doing? And Alfredo, good morning, how are you doing? Thank you for the subscription. Oh, I am pulling this like a 100% amateur. Alright, let's not do that. Alright, so we'll light that guy up. I think I will burn soul shards on this one. Since we have 2 mobs over there, I want to build up my soul shards just so that I can use my chaos bolt on one of them. Because the problem with multiple mobs is that unlike a hunter can kind of balance that more easily, but with the warlock you have to go into that fight a little bit with a little bit more strategy. But we didn't even pull the other guys, so the point's moot anyway. It says Gold Goblin says we do kill Hogger. Oh, do we really? Oh, okay. Because I know they have a couple instances. I think the tournament challenge had Hogger as one of the bosses, right? Just pull a bunch of random mobs. Daniel, thank you for the subscription as well, and good morning. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Saturday morning stream. Alright, so we're going to grab this. There's no point in necessarily going into this cave. The rare that's in this area is up on top of the hill. In addition to that, there's just not much else in the cave that's worthwhile. Keith says, back before dungeons were changed, Skull, Strat, Undead, Shadowfang Keep were my favorite. I don't mind Shadowfang Keep. Skolo was also really fun just because it was massive. There was a ton of bosses in there, and just generally a fun dungeon. It was difficult though, especially back in the vanilla days. I do remember there was many attempts we went in there and we left the place without killing all the bosses. It's just one of those dungeons. Keith says Carzone's my favorite raid. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I want to say Siege of Orgrimmar, maybe Tomb of Sargeras, to be honest. There was a couple fun fights running through there. So I'm kind of one of those that thinks the raids have gotten progressively better as they've released more content. Siege of Orgrimmar wasn't bad. What's the end one in Warlords of Draenor? I didn't care for any of the ogre raids. I thought those were kind of mundane, especially the gear that dropped from them, the transmog side of it. Kind of mundane, kind of, you know, I don't know, the tier gear looked like something that you might get from a low level quest, so I really just wasn't a fan of that aesthetic that much. What is the name of that? Is it something Citadel? The Hellfire Citadel, there we go. Yeah, Hellfire Citadel. I like that one. That one was pretty fun, pretty intense. You didn't necessarily have to go in a linear direction every single time, so if there was one boss that was giving you a little bit of a struggle, you could change directions to a certain extent. But we need one more of the violets. Oh, there we go. And like I said, the rare is up top, and he's kind of hidden behind a lot of this old rubble here. But we'll go ahead and clear a path just so we don't have to deal with these guys. Alright, so with that, we'll light this one up. And let's see. Goin says, but Hogger will rise once again. That sounds like a, what does that sound like? Oh, you know, the southern saying, the south will rise again. That's kind of what that reminds me of. Well, you know, they did that with Onyxia. They made her a boss after we've killed her once. So, you know, maybe if we have another undead theme or something going on, they'll pull Hogger out as some sort of demon or small void lord just for the sake of laughing. Alright, so with that, it was pretty fun to watch all the level 1s try to, you know, have a level 1 raid kill Hogger. Those were fun to watch. I never actually did it myself, but watching all the little level 1s die was kind of funny. Alright, so with that, the other rare that we're looking for, I think he's back here. I'm not sure. But we definitely turn in both these quests, or at least one of them up here. Alright, so we'll blow that guy up. Drain his health a bit. Get a new Sam here. Let's see, Diago says, I killed Hogger solo in Elwyn Forest. Very nice. I I leveled Night Elf when I joined into Warcraft. I didn't roll a human, I don't think, until, man, when did I roll a human the first time? Maybe Wrath of the Lich King was the first time. Up until that point, I just played Night Elves just because I liked the aesthetic of the zones, as well as the buildings, the architecture, and whatnot. So, plus the storyline's really good. I like the, I think the Alliance, not the Alliance, but the Night Elves are descendants of the Trolls, right? They just spent a lot of time near the giant moon wells, and then kind of progressively turned into the races that they are now. There we go. There she is. So we're gonna save the Chaos Bolt. If I do this right, I can get 2 off on them. So we'll sit there and let Sam take it and light this guy up. So like I said, we're gonna get 2 off here. Oh, that should be perfect. Okay. There we go. Like I said, the greens that we're starting to get at this level, they do have some level of transmog value, so it depends on where you stand as you're leveling, but at this point, the priority, if you need gold, you know, this is a good level, plus especially into your 50s to farm rares. Not necessarily farm them, but go out of your way to get them. The greens that drop can be pretty valuable, and at the same time, it might be best to vendor them. So, you know, it's just kind of the luck of the draw with that. Gold Goblin says Hawker will be the last boss of Legion, Night Elves, War Trolls, and Blood Elves too. Yeah, so I think, like I said, I don't know, as the Trolls had meandered and settled at different places, one of the locations was at that original or giant moonwell, and I've been working on my lore aspect. I've always been one of those gamers that's just kind of blindly gone through the questing without reading the, let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Just kind of blindly accepted all the quests, and even in my decade of playing now, never really sat down and read the stories and whatnot. So I'm trying to catch up on 10 plus years worth of storylines. So maybe by the end of this year, I'll be somewhat relatively competent and be able to talk with some level of not authority, but like I said, competency, and talk about stuff in detail. For those who are interested in lore, especially the Ironman challenge, I think his name's Sheppo, S-H-E-P-P-O. He does the Ironman challenge, but he reads through every single quest, and I've actually enjoyed some of his stuff. Noble 87 does very detailed videos. Alright, what did we... I always kind of mess this one up. Corrupted Moonwell Water. Yes, that's why we were messing it up. We jumped too soon. In talking about the lore and everything, we should have dipped the flask into the moonwell that was up on the surface, so we'll just retrace our steps real quick. Not too much of a setback. We have to go pretty far into this cave, and I think we can hearth out. I don't think we have to turn in the quest to the guy at the end. We might though. So we have to dip the flask. Even though the guy is right there, we have to be the ones to dip the flask, so it's okay. We get a decent amount of XP for it. And with that, that should be it. Now we have access to what? 2 quests? 3 quests? Yes, 3 quests to go into the cave. Kill everything involved. Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird when we went down there and there wasn't any sort of quest highlight to kill that guy, so glad I saw that. Alright, so we are level. Only says for the 2 succubi fight, banish one of them before the fight starts. One of them can charm you and lose control in a 2-mob fight. Good. Thank you for that, Only. Appreciate that. It's been, I don't think I've ever used banish on the Warlock, so good call. Thank you for that. Only is also G numbers. Only, are you still 69 or did you hit the 70s yet? If me and Keithy don't have the information, Only is a very reliable source for information, so especially with regards to the Ironman challenge. So like I said, it's only within my chat, and then it's G numbers within Discord. So I do carry a little bit of value in what Only does say, since he's been doing this for a lot longer than I have. Alright, so with that, we'll go ahead and stifle this one. And resummon Sam. The thing about this, though, is one, we're in a cave. When it comes to enclosures like this, whether it's a cave, a ship, especially a crypt, the respawn rate's extremely fast, and it's even more of a disadvantage for your caster class, just due to the fact that you know, everything is much closer. For example, we have a 40-yard range on most of all of our spells, but very rarely do we get to use that 40-yard range, just because everywhere there's a turn or whatnot. And Only says hit 72. Well, congrats, Only. Very nice. How are you liking the Warlock so far, though? Especially in the 60s and 70s. Did it change anything with respect to, or in comparison with the Hunter? Because I noticed a lot more of your fight mechanics become... Are your fight mechanics on named mobs and other instances become much more dramatic because you encounter a lot of the fight mechanics as opposed to the Hunter? Alright, we'll try that one more time. As a Hunter, your DPS is very heavy up front. So maybe over the time of 5 minutes, the Warlock and Hunter DPS might even out, but it's in the course of, say, the first 15 seconds, the Hunter's probably going to win every single time, just because they have so many instant cast spells. So with that being said, a lot of the time you do encounter a lot more fight mechanics that would normally kill you, but you just never see them as a Hunter. Alright, so with that, nuke this guy real quick, and we'll nuke this one as well. So I think these are the last two braziers we have to extinguish. And with that, I think this thing keeps faking me out. I think there's a rare here, but I think it's the same guy that we killed outside of the cave. I might be wrong. I just don't remember having a rare outside of here. Only says Hunter Pet is more durable. Hunter has much better escape options. Warlock is playable, but strongly preferred Hunter. I can see that, especially with the pet aspect. I was kind of surprised at how weak the Voidwalker was. I was, for some reason, I was thinking it was the equivalent of a bear, but that's definitely not the case. The Voidwalker does have an element of weakness. What's that? Yeah, it used to be, but these days it's a little bit weaker. So once Qyune makes it to 40, we'll hear about the Felguard and see how strong it is. But I think most of everyone's kind of opted to go the Affliction route, just because of the survivability of it. But yeah, just for the sake of speed, you know, speaking of that, I think Xantric still might be not Chaos, but Destruction. Eric says, "Morning, Qyune." Good morning, Eric. How are you doing? Says, "What level are you at right now?" We are level... Let's go ahead and nuke this guy. We're level 46, and looks like less than 5% from 47. So, not bad. We started this morning at 45, so it's in less than an hour we've managed to level nearly twice. Let me go ahead and knock this guy out. But how's your morning going, Eric? How's everything your way? We have two Erics in the chat, so we have Eric, Fiery Eric, and then we have Eric Qyune, I think, right? The N's silent, more or less. Only says Hunter melee white gear boosts your damage, which improves damage spells. Caster weapons are blanks. Yeah, that's another really good point. Is that your white gear, you know, for your melee classes, for your Hunter, you know, if you get higher level white weapons, you know, it significantly helps you, just because, you know, those do more damage. But for the caster weapons, the damage is only applied to the melee portion. So if I hit stuff with my staff, you know, it'll apply more damage if I get a higher level staff. But I wonder how long Banish is for. So we do have our Healthstone in case things go awry. Alright, so let's banish her. Banish is for 30 seconds, so let's go ahead and nuke this thing. Thank you again for that only. I probably would have forgotten. Langwin. Good morning, thank you for the subscription. How's your morning going? Alright, so I think, can we take the just remove the spell, or do we have to wait the whole duration? Alright, it's got 2 seconds, so I'm going to start my Chaos Bolt now. Ooh, and we got charmed. How long are we charmed for? Oh, just a couple seconds. We're good. Let's go ahead and nuke her down. So yeah, thank you for that only. The charm is instant cast. And I'm going to summon, well, I don't think I need to summon Sam back. We'll just put some damage on her. Alright, that's done. And that is level 47. So we'll accept that. Take that down. Keep on going. It says, told you. Yeah, you did. Like I said, I appreciate that. That's a instant cast, so there you guys go. If you do this cave, that could be a pretty nasty fight. I did not see that quest on the spreadsheet, so I appreciate that. Alright, so let's nuke this guy real quick. So case in point, only does have a wealth of information, so that is worth, if you see him in chat and you have a question, there you go. Alright, with that we need, this is going to be our 12th demon. I don't think we have to go across the bridge. We might. I forget which direction we're supposed to go for this. Looks like there's 2 paths. So there's nothing in there except for 2 mobs, so they can have that. That little room is all theirs. We're going to go in this direction. And just so this guy doesn't sneak up on me. Only says first banish is a 30-second timeout, and second banish cancels early. Okay. Even on the whoops. That's surprising that it has a diminishing return on the PvE mobs. Is that for PvE mobs as well, or is that just for PvP? Because I thought as long as you feared them or you did any other CC, it went for its full duration. But if it doesn't, that's definitely news to me. All right, so this guy has quite a bit of health, so let's summon Sam. He might hit like a truck. Let's see. Let me see if there's anything to watch out for. Since we are in a cave, we do want to move as quickly as possible, but at the same time, be careful for these named mobs here. That's side. He is nearly more demonic than Orc now. Alright, so says to watch out for his big attacks here. So if we can get another Chaos Bolt off, I think we'll do that. Yep, that'll do it. Just before he can go through his repertoire of cooldowns. So we do have to kill one of these guys before we... I guess we can do 2 things at once here. Accept that. Well, my biggest concern is when killing these things is just to not get that pop respawn. Sometimes they can pop up immediately after you kill them, so it's just good to take off. Only says you can only have 1 mob banish at a time. The cancel effect is to make it easier to kill the banished mob. If you change your mind, clear the room quickly. Okay, I got you. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and blow this guy up. Paradin says, with all the food talk yesterday, did you have something good for dinner last night? We did. We had quesadillas, right? We had quesadillas. And then we had, what did we have for lunch? Curry, that's right. Yeah, curry. So, she's a very talented cook. Has a whole list of, I think we're going to, here pretty soon, I think we're going to try to start cooking stuff out of the Warcraft cookbook. So, I'll let you guys how that goes. Let you know how that goes, as well as, I have to take pictures of it so we can put it on the stream. That way we can put you on the spot. Dark Steve says, hey Qyune, what's going on, Dark Steve? Alright, Dark Steve, if my memory's bad, forgive me. I don't know, was it Dylan? I think it was, I think Dylan was Draenor. Or Danar. I can't quite remember. You had asked me to call you by your real name, and I can't remember if it was like Dylan or Chris or something, I think. Paradin says, sound great. I'm jealous. No, I'm just lucky. Let's see. With that, let's go ahead. This guy has this much health. Dylan, one final remains. He serves the whims. Instrument to him. Proceed carefully, Qyune. A dreadlord is a terrifying foe. Stand tall and triumph. I think terrifying might be a little bit of a hint. He might fear us. We'll see. And Fabo says, hey there, Warcraft cookbook. What? Yeah, there is one. There's, Alright, so I don't have any sort of silencing ability for that. Oh, thank you. So I'll put that up here in a second. As soon as we get somewhere safe. Let me see. Alright, so we don't have to stay down here. We can actually just hearth back, so let's do that. But for you guys, I don't know. Let's see if this works out well. So the Warcraft cookbook, we'll go ahead and put on this side of the screen. So there you go. So it has all sorts of stuff, like the they're just kicking Chimera chops. So yeah, it's pretty neat. There's how many recipes? Let me see. I think we're semi-safe to sit here and look at a cookbook. 210 pages worth of recipes. Usually one page is a picture of that recipe, and then the other page is, you know, kind of your ingredients and whatnot. But I mean, still, even if that's the case, that's 105 recipes. So Dark Steve says, I don't think I asked you to call me by my real name. Alright, Steve, my bad. I know there's been 2 or 3 who've asked me to, so I try to make it a point to remember. Maybe it's just the fact that you have Steve in your name that I was thinking that. But welcome once again. Father says, it uses WoW recipes, wolf meat, wolf spices. I think not. I think it kind of just substitutes chicken or beef for those cases. Alright. We are good here, I think. Oh, let's put that back up. Alright, so with that, we're moving along pretty well. We're about 40% into 47, and then this next series of quests. This next area is pretty good because there's, I think, three rares that are kind of closely packed to each other. In addition to that, we're normally doing what, 2-3 quests at a time, so it's not bad. And with that, turn this in. This rare, I think this is a cat over here. A cat or a hyena, I can't remember which one it is. So we'll turn that in. Grab these 2. Oops. These 2. Alright, so with that, let's go in this direction first. I don't think we have to kill these guys just yet. That's probably coming up. But I just know that there's some sort of 4-legged animal over here that is up sometimes, but not now. Okay. We don't have to kill him just yet. So we'll go ahead and go back across the pathway here. I could stop and kill those guys, but I know that there's 2 rares just across the road, so If they're up, we'll kill them. If they're not, no big deal. We'll go ahead and clear this out. Moody says, "Morning, Qyune." Good morning, Moody. How you doing? Is it morning for you? You were messaging me pretty early this morning. Congrats on the 2 mounts, by the way. That's insanely good luck. Moody got the Qyune mount. Qyune, right? The one from the troll instance. What is that called? I need to start memorizing or learning these names better. Oh, there's our rare. Throne of Thunder. Thank you. Yes. Alright, so with that, we do have this rare. We'll go ahead and pop our breath and blow him up. When he says, "Man, I woke up at 1:30 a.m. Did you really? Wow. Why'd you wake up so early? That's insane. Alright, so there's our green. Let's go ahead and kill this guy. There is another one in this location. I think I've seen him once, and he might stand on the dock over here, but he's pretty hard to come across most of the time. Alright, so with that, take this guy out, and oh, yep, there he is. Wow, we lucked out this morning. That's nice. Sam's about half health. We're not going to make a straight line for him. What's going to happen is if we did, Sam would probably end up pulling these two guys. So we're just trying to keep this as systematic as possible. And we'll blow this guy up, generate a little bit. Moody says, "I ran MSV, got the Astral Cloud Serpent." That's right. Congrats on that. Then I ran Throne of Thunder and got the Qyune mount. Yeah, you know, it seems like Warcraft luck comes in, I won't say threes. It comes in batches. Like, if you, what I found is if you have a really good luck with a mount drop or a legendary drop or something that's rare and has a very noticeable low RNG, 9 times, most of the time, I won't say 9 times out of 10, most of the time you kind of want to continue farming because it seems like you have a decent string of good luck. We have Champion's Armor. Oh, that's nice. That might sell well. Okay. But yeah, if just kind of like a case in point with Moody, the best story I've heard of that is, or not heard, but I actually saw it, is back in, I want to say Wrath of the Lich King. We were farming Burning Crusade dungeons, and we had gone and knocked out Black Temple. A rogue had not only had dropped both Warglaives, not only did Illidan drop both Warglaives, the rogue received and won both through the rolls. And you know, you're talking with back then, I think you need about 10 to 12 players. So you know, he got both glaives. We then turned around and did Tempest Keep, and he received the Phoenix mount. So the luck does come in batches, it seems. Mr. Vit, I haven't seen you in a while. Good morning. How are you doing? What's going on, Q? What level are you? We are level 47, about halfway through. We started this morning at 45, so we're moving pretty well, actually. We are only an hour into the stream, and like I said, it's 2.5 levels for us. How are you doing this morning? How have you been, actually? Let's see. Let's go ahead and nuke this guy. And there we go. And I think we need one more of these as well. Alright, we'll turn these two in, and I think that's going to start pushing us back to the other side of the road where we have to kill the other guys, and I think the named cat, yeah, there we go. Mr. Fit says, "I've been doing good. Is this an extended stream or just no more 3 hours? How's Irma? Well, everything good?" So yeah, we'll probably keep today to about 3 to 4 hours just to have that range. Monday will be extended for us. For those who are new to the stream, we take Sundays off just to have a break. It gives me a chance to timestamp my videos, which I am way behind on with Irma, like Mr. Vit was saying. But as far as Irma, we were lucky enough to kind of get the outskirts of the hurricane, but we did have quite a few tornado scares, which is almost worse. It's I won't say it's better to go through the eye, because obviously it's going to depend on the severity of the storm, but a lot of times what happens if you get caught out on the outer bands of a hurricane, you're much more susceptible to the tornadoes that those generate, just because they are whipping around a lot faster than the actual eye is moving. But no, we managed to do pretty good. We have a lot of debris in the yard still, so that's something I want to work on today after the stream. Hopefully before the sun beats me out there. It looks a little cloudy, so we might have to see how that goes. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and kill this. But yeah, Mr. Vit, everything else is going pretty well. We've Warlock race is going well. We have over 50 people participating in the Warlock race, and we did help the Friends for Impact group meet their goal of 5,000 pounds. So thank you everyone once again for being a part of that. We're going to continue to support those guys and promote their activity. For those that are not aware, the reason we're doing a Warlock and 50 other people are doing a Warlock is we're just trying to bring awareness to a group called Friends for Impact that does brain research in brain tumor research in children. So, you know, trying to understand why, how, and the countermeasures for that. So, but we did reach the 5,000 pound goal, and yeah, like I said, just going to push it through and finish the month strong. And you guys are more than welcome to be a part of it. You don't have to stream to be a part of the Warcraft challenge. I won't bring that up too often because it does have a little bit of repetitive nature, but maybe once an hour we'll pop that up. There's so many. Jep, thank you for the subscription. Good morning, how are you doing? We do have so many challengers that it actually clogs up the screen a little bit, so I've had to space out when I pop that up. But if you want to see the challengers, or if you have a question about the Ironman rules in general, feel free to ask. It's not a problem. This is a community thing, so alright, with that, Paradox says morning. Good morning, Paradox. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. How's your morning? And Paradox says, tornado scares. I live in Nebraska every day is a tornado scare. Yeah, the mid-region like that's pretty rough. I do not envy you guys at all. The good thing about a hurricane, if there is a good one, is that, you know, you have weeks notice. You know, when it comes down to it, it comes down to maybe 24-48 hours, because it's sometimes hard to predict the last direction that the hurricane's going to turn. But the tornadoes just kind of drop down, and you don't know if you're getting an F1 or a F5, and it's just it's hard to counterbalance that. Everything's a missile when a tornado comes through. Mr. Vitt says, I would say a typhoon and tsunami cause more damage than a hurricane. Tornadoes can cause a lot of damage, but they can break easily. Yeah, but I guess, you know, tsunamis, yes. I don't think, especially for lowland regions, there's not too much you can do with the tsunami, except just run and hope for the best, really. The situation changes from person to person as opposed to where you're at and what the water's doing to you. But Georgie says, good luck with the challenge. Thank you, Georgie. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I think that's the first time I've seen your name. If not, I apologize, but good morning. And let's see. William says, good morning, Qyune. Good morning, William, as well. How's your Saturday morning going? Says, do you have a whole week's worth of those blue shirts? I do, believe it or not. Maybe not all 7 days per se, but I do have quite a few. In my previous job, there was instances where we had a lot of meetings, so you had to be a little bit dressed up for those meetings. So throughout the course of my employment, I acquired quite a few blue shirts of all things. that. We'll go ahead and nuke this guy as well. Let's stand out of that. And Jep says, morning, enjoying your streams as a nice background while working on different things. Well, thank you, Jep. I appreciate you stopping by, and once again for the subscription. Thank you guys. Usually Saturdays are a quieter morning. I want to say normally there's about 15 to 20 of us, so thank you for everyone that's dropped by this on your weekend. Only says Qyune can't play Horde, he doesn't have enough red shirts. That's funny. You made Lady Qyune laugh too. That's kind of funny. I do have one though only, so I'd have to wash it every day. So, you know, that's not a bad idea. I think someone's brought that up once before. If I do Horde side, I'll wear the red shirts. Let's see. What's that?
You're not buying a red headset.
No, we're not buying a red headset. Oops. Let's handle this a little bit better. We'll have Sam on them. And there we go. I did not need 2 emulates. Oh, the first one didn't land. Oops. Sam's a little low on health. I don't think we need to utilize Chaos Bolt just yet. There we go. So we'll pop out of that and resummon Sam here. Hearthstone has about 15 minutes, so for the next 15 minutes we'll be running around. Maybe in the future I'll join a guild. It's just if I join a guild, I'm gonna feel really bad if people try to talk to me. I AFK quite a bit as it is, so if you guys are on my friends list and I don't reply, please don't take offense to that. I AFK quite a bit. I'm one of those guys that'll leave my bank alt on the auction house or leave my main, you know, standing somewhere safe or not. Sometimes I do come back to a corpse, but I do AFK quite a bit. It's just always a ton of things going on here, but I do try to reply when I can. But Georgie says, how challenging do you find the Ironman challenge? Wondering and trying it. Georgie, you should. It's actually a lot of fun. Now, as far as challenge aspect of it, it's a. All right, we'll start with the misconception. A lot of people, especially me, when I first started, thought it was a 100% skill set thing, meaning that, you know, I thought you wouldn't necessarily want to try it unless you're one of those players that play mythics or do mythic raiding, high-end mythic dungeons or mythic raiding. However, that could probably not be further from the truth, because the Ironman challenge has, from what I can tell, 3 contributing factors. The least of which is skill. Yes, it's helpful to know your class and how to play it, but since you have more playtime at the level, because you're leveling more slowly, it kind of comes a lot more naturally. You start to learn your spells and get that repetitiveness ingrained in your muscle memory. There is a cat over here. The other contributing factor is luck, to be honest. You know, if you're unlucky in the sense that you have a whole zone respawn on top of you, that's a factor. That kind of ties in closely with the fact that a lot of your deaths in the Ironman are independent of class. If you take on the wrong mob and it one-shots you, there's not much you can do from class to class. So luck. But the other thing, and I think the biggest contributing factor, is that it's knowledge-based. You know, as long as you know where the dangerous quests are, as long as you know how to pull a certain mob, or you know, to preemptively pull stuff with a kind of a frame of mind that you know what the next step should be that you're doing. Case in point is like when you have to pull 2 mobs at a time. You know, I have to, for the Warlock, I make sure I have 3 soul shards. 1, to get the Chaos Bolt off first, and then 2, just in case I'd lose my pet. There is a innkeeper somewhere. So, but it's not skill based. It's more of experience based than anything else, Georgie. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I would recommend it to really anyone. It's especially those guys who tend to prioritize the immersion side of gaming. It's very immersive and it's fun. It changes the dynamic of all the quests when you can only when you cannot die, should I say. Excuse me. Patrick says, I love your stream, bros. Cheers from Brazil. Well, welcome to good morning, Brazil. Good morning from the southern region of the U.S. Patrick, thank you for stopping by. How's your morning going? There is a rare out here. We got him last time. I think it's an owl or no, it's a wasp. There we go. Let's nuke this guy. Poison Spit's probably going to land on Sam. And let's see, only says biggest iron skills are zone quest knowledge, patience, and the ability to execute emergency plans if things go wrong, which is 100% right. The patience is the biggest thing. Is sometimes, you know, you get in a rut where you have to kill 15, 30 mobs. Alright, so we need to slay these guys as well as look for the squirrels. Okay. Alright, so we can't do anything with those. Maybe it's more in this direction. I've done this quest a couple times, so I think I'm just out of order here. Yeah. But yeah, patience is a big thing, just because when you're killing, you have, say you're doing Neswing quests, you have 3 quests to kill 15 mobs, so you know you have to grind on 15 mobs at least, or sorry, 45. So it can be tiring. I think a lot of deaths that we've had, especially for the Warlock challenge, are attributed to the lack of patience. Sometimes that can generate. I know I'm going to aggro this guy here. Okay, there we go. So, you know, if you feel yourself getting mentally fatigued, take a break, jump on the main, and, you know, try not to do it. It's addictive, so you kind of want to do it all at once. You have to fight that. But, yeah, as much as possible, just if you start to feel yourself mentally fatigued, for me, I don't come across that all too much anymore, just because I've done this zone quite a bit. But especially very early on, you just have a consistent higher awareness. You know, you're trying to watch out for every other mob that you come by. But once you get used to it, it kind of tapers off a bit. But if you do feel yourself kind of getting mentally drained, just take a break. Careless issues are probably the biggest contributor to people dying. Mr. Taco, good morning. I like the name. Thank you for the subscription. How are you doing? Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and kill this guy as well. And we'll grab that squirrel here in a second. And there we go. Let me catch back up with chat. Mr. Taco says, good man. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again for the subscription. Kyle Guest, thank you for the subscription as well. Good morning. How are you doing? Joy says, I did Emerald Nightmare hardcore runs, 2 tanks, 5 healer, DPS. And Georgie, thank you for the subscription as well. I knew that was the first time I've seen your name, so good morning. Let's see, let's go ahead. This is number 6, I believe. And Frozen Cones, thank you for the subscription. Wow, we got a wave of them this morning. Thank you guys very much for that. Frozen Cones says, howdy from Australia. Good morning from the southern regions of the United States. How are you doing? That's one thing I've enjoyed about doing this, especially in the early AM. There's everyone from all across the world, just kind of, since it's early for the US, you know, you get a lot more people from outside the US and whatnot. So welcome everyone. I know we have Brazil, Poland, Denmark. I think we have Scotland here as well. So thank you everyone. Georgie says, you had me hooked. I appreciate that. It's super addicting. Like I said, if you want to join us for the Warlock race, you're more than welcome to do so. I think a lot of people tend to be apprehensive about joining the race just because they weren't able to start on the first, but I can honestly say everyone who started on the first has died. It's just, that's the nature of the Ironman challenge. It's not going to be a one-shot thing, but excuse me. You're more than welcome to join at any time. And joining now versus later really isn't that much of an advantage over anything else. We still need another squirrel here. Let's go ahead and click that guy. We have 50 participants so far in the race. I think if Keith is still here, he can probably go over the prizes. Keith, like I said, this is Keith's event. He is handing out 3 prizes toward the end. So if you're into streamed games, that's something you might be interested in as well. Excuse me. Tootie says, "Morning, good morning, Tootie. I thought you were on the road today. How are you doing?" Alright, so that is level 48. Let's hide that real quick and clear that off the bags. There we go. And what do we need to do here? 7 lashers checked. Okay. Some of these guys turn aggressive, some of them don't. Just the little bit RNG says. Don Bento says, "Hello from Germany." Well, hello, Don. How are you doing? Good morning. I think it's about mid-afternoon there, right? Maybe a little bit later. Good morning. Ryan says, "Can't fill against Scotland, Qyune." That's right, Ryan. How's your morning going? Don, thank you for the subscription. Welcome once again, guys. Thank you for the wave this morning. Judy says, "So I get home on Tuesday. Do I still have time?" Tuesday is the 19th. Absolutely, Judy. I think people will probably running out of time. Maybe, it depends on what you're going for. I would say if you join the last 3 or 4 days of the month, you're probably more at a disadvantage than anyone else. Delmador, good morning, and thank you for the subscription. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Let's go ahead and knock this out. I think those, as far as joining late into the month, those who join maybe on the 26th, 28th are the greatest disadvantage, just because, if you join now, you can compete both on the max level and the fastest level to 60 time, but the fastest level to 60 we've had so far is 25 hours, so unless, those players or those people could do a 24-hour session, it's probably going to be pretty hard for them to be competitive. You don't have to necessarily be competitive to join. You can just do it for fun. But like I said, the prizes are from Keithy, and he's heading that up at the end of the month. Alright, so we'll blow this guy up. And Frozen Cone says, "I finished the insane title last expansion, so I'm ready for this." Very nice. I don't know if I have that one. I have the pirate one, but I don't have the insane one yet. I need to figure out what I need to do to knock that out. But yeah, I do not have that one just yet. And then Tootie says, "Change my mind, leaving tomorrow, less traffic." Alright, Tootie, I understand that. I hate being in traffic more than anything else. I'm one of those people, I would rather drive an extra, if it's say an hour-long trip, I would rather drive an extra 30 minutes on a faster route than be stuck in traffic. Even if it is going to cost me 30 minutes, it's just, the stop and go is just mind-numbing more than anything else. Ryan says, "It's going mad." Well, what's going on, Ryan? Why is it mad, man? Let's see. Joy says, "Is it for Warlocks only?" I was thinking about a Windwalker Monk. For the month of September, it is Warlocks only. Like I said, just to kind of raise awareness for the Friends for Impact group. But I mean, if you want to do the Ironman challenge, you're more than welcome to pick just any class. Now, once the month ends, I'll try to keep up with people with their various classes, and whatever attempt they're making. Case in point would be, usually I think there's Dalaran Gaming, there's Sheppo, and there's a handful of others who are doing the Ironman challenge, but they're not participating in the race. So I'm not keeping up with them for the month of September, but once October starts back up, I'll keep track of them. But no, by no means do you have to pick a Warlock. There's nothing restricting your gameplay in general. And then Ryan says, "I just answer mail whenever nothing interesting happens." I gotcha. That's understandable. That's very relatable, actually. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead. There is a rare that kind of patrols through here. I think he's... That one tends to be farmed from time to time, and I don't know if it drops a particular item of usage or if there's just something a lot of people happen to see, but I don't see... He's one of the few that I see up that I know I've seen a couple times before. So, we'll venture around and see if we can find him. Well, let's see. This is the watering the iron tree. We'll worry about that later. I think that quest is up north, mostly taking care of demons at this point. But yeah, this morning has been really active, so thank you guys for being a part of the stream. Like I said, for the wave of likes and subscriptions. That's really nice. Excuse me. Alright, so with that, I'll nuke that out. And let's go ahead and grab that as well. Do we need to kill these guys? Yes, we do. Okay. I know there's a named mob we have to kill. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I was going to say that we had to kill at one point, but I think... Oops, let's get away from that one. I think that point's now, so we'll just kind of grind our way through there. Let me think. What else is there that we need over here? We may not need a reason to delve too deep into the area over here. It's probably the greater chance we'll have of seeing that rare, but it's not worth killing ourselves to get to it, if that makes any sense. Frozen Cone says, so reading over the rules basically level with no consumables, heirlooms, buffs, talents, or any greater gear than white quality. Yeah, pretty much, Frozen, that's perfect. In the short version, I tell people it's leveling to 110 without dying, using the worst gear in the game, and that guy just despawned. That's weird. I think we might have walked into another phase. Oh, but yeah, excuse me. Leveling to 110 without dying, without also grouping with other people. That's a big one. No dungeons, no battlegrounds, really just no grouping with people in general. And this guy's hitting Sam like a truck. So we'll get off another Chaos Bolt, just so we don't have to deal with too many more of his fight mechanics. Alright, that's done. We have the core. But yeah, Frozen, you pretty much nailed that on the head there. And it's probably wise to do it on a PvE server. Yes, it is. It's very wise. The numbers I'm using right now is there's been over 20,000 attempts. There's only 22 people who've made it to 110. And furthermore, out of those 22, none of them have been on a PvP server. So, if you want to be a first, more than welcome to give it a shot. There's no rules against it, but it is extremely difficult. So, I think there's been a couple people who've tried the Warlock on the Warlock race on a PvP server, but all of those have kind of died off from what I'm understanding, unless there's someone doing it very quietly. But to be able to stream it, I would say that's just about impossible. And then Moist Game says probably Moist, what is that in reference to? I might have said that and then I moved over in chat and completely lost track of that. And Tootie says, imagine PvP. Yeah, no, I try not to. There's been a couple instances where people have come to the PvE side and then flagged themselves just to be a part of that in nature, but yeah, it's as long as you're on a PvP server, you're alright. Sorry, PvE, not PvP. Make that clear. Definitely not PvP. Alright, so with that, we're just trying to open up a route here just so we can maybe work our way to the center, take a look around, see if the rare is actually here, all the while picking up quest items. But if he's not up, he's not up, so no real reason to spend too much time on it. I'm not seeing him. I want to say it's a Felguard looking demon. I might be off. We did get a green item. That's nice. Yeah, I don't see him, so we have all those that we need. And I think we need to kill the Infernos. Okay. Let's take care of this guy who's walking around. Paradox says, what do you mean? Paradox, I mean a Frosty Kid. I do have a blood off spec, but I think my weapon level for blood is probably low 50s. It's not too high. I haven't played it too much. I've actually enjoyed Frost this expansion as well as this patch. It's been very nice for those who focus more on the obliteration variation. So Moist says it's in reference to being on a PvE server. You've got to be nuts to try it on PvP. Yes, I see what you're saying now. Absolutely. Let me go ahead and run over here. But yeah, it's the highest level I've seen someone get on a PvP realm is 96, 97. Sorry, that was what someone told me. That's as high as they've ever gotten. At the highest I've ever seen is, I think, in the 70s. So it is. Oops, let's go ahead and keep going here. It is pretty difficult, and it's pretty difficult meaning borderline impossible. Tootie says, the first time ever I logged into WoW, it was a PvP server. Oops, I'm gonna break a rule again. It was a PvP server, and unbeknownst to me, I was like, why are they killing me? Alright, let's kill this wolf here. This guy's getting annoying. I stopped here just because there might be that rare cat. There we go. Yep, he's up there. So I did use my Chaos Bolt on the wolf. So we'll see if we can get a couple more soul shards out of this. But yeah, my first time in Warcraft was on my first character in Warcraft was on a PvP realm, and not ideal. I mean, it's fun. I actually really enjoyed it at the time, but now I've kind of shifted into the sense where I prefer more so PvE. I'd rather get out in the world, get the content that I want done, and you know, if I want a PvP, choose a battleground. But that's just kind of how my playstyle has changed over the years. Back when I first started, I actually really enjoyed coming across other players in the open world and fighting. And he says, I didn't even know what PvP was. Yeah, you know, it's funny because on my warrior, I've gone over how much of a noob I was a couple times, but the other aspect is when you go from Darkshore to Ashenvale, I think on PvE realms, it's the name of the zone pops up in yellow, but on PvP it pops up in red. So I thought I was just doing something really wrong or absolutely against what I should be doing. And actually, when I saw the red lettering, I turned around and ran back to Darkshore. So just my noobish days. Still somewhat of a noob, to be honest. Let's see, we need to free this guy here, so I guess we'll do this one now. The tree's going to have us run around quite a bit, so I'd rather knock this out now. This quest isn't... let me think. Is it this one? Yeah, I think it is this one. This one's not so bad as long as you let the NPC do the tanking. Sam's probably going to pull aggro. I'm just going to let him do it and die. I'd rather him do that than me turn off taunt and then forget to turn it back on. Let's see. Centra says 9:44, only 6 to go. Oh wow, look at that. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate that. We did hit quite a big wave of subscribers this morning, so thank you for that. And if it didn't announce your name in chat or in the little announcement, I apologize. I don't know why it does that. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Oops, let's go ahead and nuke this guy and then build our health up. He hit Sam kind of hard, actually. But if you did subscribe and it didn't see you, just go ahead and chime in chat and we'll say hi and try to, as much as possible, talk to each other. Let's see. Alright, we need to relive the battle with this guy. So while that's doing its RP, Mush says, I didn't the first time, but I learned very quickly. Oh, as far as when you learn about PvP, yeah, you do have a pretty quick learning curve. I think the first time I died to PvP was in Westfall, and what was I leveling at the time? I forget. I'm gonna let this guy get down to about 20%, and then we'll unload on him. But I was in Westfall, and I don't know, maybe say 14, 15, maybe 16. Had just completed what I was doing for the day, about to log off, and as I hit the menu to log off, my character died. And you know, looking back on it now, it was a rogue that one-shotted me, but I had thought that in logging out, I had done so because I hadn't done it in an inn, that instantly killed me. So for the next week or two, I didn't hit the this button right here until I was in an inn, because I had associated that with the instant death. So that's my noob story as far as my early days of leveling. I think I've been playing all of like maybe a month, maybe 2 months at that time. What says, has anyone succeeded on the non-pet class? Yeah, there's been 22 people to make it 110, and I think the number's somewhere in the mid-teens as far as those being hunters. So all the rest of those have been, you know, your priest, your warrior, your paladin. I think there's a warlock in there too. Oh, as far as the... Yeah, someone did do that on a petless hunter. Someone did make it to 110 on a petless hunter. Alright, so we'll nuke this guy, and then we'll nuke the next one. Alright, so for this quest, especially if you're doing this as a tanking spec, one, I would advise not to do that. You might pull aggro off Illidan, but I'll nuke this guy then. But I would let him kind of whittle the health down to about 80%. That way he has the solid aggro on him. Tootie says, I was in the 9-off starting area. Oops. Alright, I'll catch back up with chat here in a second. Let's just make sure we don't kill ourselves here. Alright, and we'll switch over here. Might try to build up my bank of soul shards at the moment. And I think we're gonna have a boss right here. Maybe not this one, maybe the next one, but I thought it was this one. Oh, but maybe it is the next one. Let me catch up with chat. Once again, it says, I was in Ashtonville and I was toasted by a rogue. No idea what level. Yep, I know that feeling all too well. Let me go ahead and accept this. Off we go. And we'll let him get down to about 80% as well. And then Insane says, oh yeah, Ashtonville was always a known red zone. And then Stranglethornville was almost always full of chaos. Stranglethornville was a lot of fun. Now, by that point, I had figured out the PvP aspect of it and whatnot, and that was actually a lot of fun. Alright. Oop. He's actually hitting me with that plague. So we'll go ahead and nuke him here and then generate a little bit of health just so we stay topped off. Like I said, Sam's going to taunt him, but Illidan's going to probably pick him up right after that. So I'm not too concerned. And then let's see, Sam. Oh no, Tootie says, yeah, don't you love it? 3 rogues on a level 22 priest. Yeah, and that back then, sometimes that camping could get really rough back in vanilla. You could have a druid, a rogue, camp people for hours on end, and the graveyards were not as condensed as they are now. Like in Stranglethorn, I think you had a graveyard up north, and then you had one down south. So if you died somewhere in the middle, you know, you were still looking at a 2 or 3 minute walk just to pop back up and have that rogue hit you again. But it was fun though. You know, back then, especially with everyone being on the ground, a lot of the mounts, a lot of people couldn't afford the mount, so the content was a lot larger, if that makes sense. Like, you know, if the slower you move, the larger the area seems to be. So, you know, that aspect did make it pretty fun. But I think not too much of a huge fan of PvP with flying. That's just purely my preference, but you know, if you, a case in point for me would be, say, Murloc Freedom, the quest in, oops, the quest on Broken Shore, or Broken Isles. Come on, Sam, there you go. You know, if you go there and you, especially if you have, say, the World Quest add-on, you know, you'll group up with a bunch of people, and there's four or five, maybe 6 full groups of people just flying around in the air. So I think sometimes the PvP aspect of it is diminished with flying, but all right, we need the ban here. Let me walk out. Nope, we actually need to be in the zone to use it. Let's see, Georgie says, I still remember my first world PvP level 45 Ret Paladin versus Skull Undead Mage near the entrance back. Yeah, it says I won even to my music. Did you really? You know, back then, you know, you could win. Whoa, and that's what made it fun. Is that, you know, the gear was just a very important thing, and you could have a mage that, if it had no gear, and the paladin had some greens and blues, that it could be that sense. So you don't see too much of that these days, just because a lot of people are wearing the heirloom, so there's not too much of the... I think if you have heirlooms, you can still kill people that are skull, that are 10 or plus levels above you, that are leveling in blues and greens, but that's kind of far and few in between these days. So we still need to keep killing these guys. We need 12 of them, so let's see. Well, it says paladins were strong. Yes, they are. The tanking side of them was strong. I think they were pretty weak when it came to DPS back then, weren't they? Because I thought that was one of their bigger complaints. I might be mistaking that for another class, but I thought the paladins had a pretty tough DPS spec. Let's see. I might be mixing that up with Burning Crusade, but I know at one point they did. Let's go ahead and nuke this guy. Excuse me. And 2D says, back when you couldn't get him out to level 40, I must have used to say, very nice. Yes. And even more so to the point, you couldn't get to your level 40, and then it was a huge amount of gold. And even more so for the level 60. I think you could, back then you could do the questing, and I don't know, maybe have 5 to 10 gold up to level 40 from just questing, if I remember right. It's been a while. Insane says, very rare items to defend yourself against holy damage. That's true. That is a good point. Let's see. George says, question about the challenge in Warlock Shaman. Once you get a Soulstone reincarnation, is it legal? No, kind of what Only is also saying is that a death is a death no matter what. And, you know, if you die and it comes from something bugging out, or, you know, PvP, you accidentally flagged yourself, or you ran too close to an opposite faction camp, a death is still a death. So that's very finite in that you can't really recover from that in any way. So let's go ahead and nuke this guy. So yeah, you just want to be very careful. That kind of ties into the experience aspect of it, in the sense that you know, when you're leveling through a zone, you kind of want to have an idea where the opposite faction camps and outposts are, because sometimes there's guards that are your level, and then there's guards that are max level, and I'm gonna save my Chaos Bolt for that guy. But even if you're able to kill the guards, it'll still flag you for PvP, and then you have a whole new set of problems. So with that, this should be number 12. There we go. So I'm gonna run out of the area before I turn this quest in, just in case it puts me somewhere I don't want to be. I don't think it will, but okay, yeah, it takes us right back. Washington says, I was so proud when I got Northrend flying. Yeah, I was able to amass the gold during vanilla to buy the 100% mount speed, but man, it took a long time. Alright, Archdruid. This quest to kill the Archdruid's a huge pain. He has a ridiculous knockback. We kind of have to do it just because it does kind of gate the rest of the zone, and there's decent questing to be had. But yeah, I'm not too excited about that fight. I did forget about that until just recently. Alright, so with that, go ahead and water the hill. Fill the vial with the water from the moon well, so we have to fill it up here and then drop it on the hill. It only says there's a fake death in a specific Grizzly Hills quest. I do remember that. That's allowed because fake death isn't counted towards your total death state. Okay. Yeah, we might come across that. I was thinking it was a real death, but since it's fake, yes, only is correct. Then with that, we're going to, I want to say there's 2 quests we do at a time. Once we place the droplets on top of the hill, usually it involves either collecting something and killing something else. So just kind of your typical kill and collect scenario that carries you throughout the zone. And there we go. Complete that. We'll accept that. And there's our little guy. So we need to kill the bees over here, as well as collect some stuff. Excuse me. And we'll start with a nuke here. And let's see, Tootie says, I don't understand who keeps track of all this. Like you mentioned, red flags for violation. Who red flags you, or is it built into the program? Yeah, it's built into the website, Tootie. It just pretty much pulls off your statistics. So if there's something there's a 1 where there's supposed to be a 0, it'll automatically red flag. But it just uses your achievements as well as your statistics from the armory page. So I think we're just supposed to lead them over it. Yep. And then only says, pretty sure that the knockback can't hit you through the door and over the railing, but it would be hilarious if it was possible. Yeah, I have gliders ready, so just in case we do run into that. It says, I always tend to stand in front of a wall just in case. That's what I did with the last hunter I did this quest with. He did hit for a good bit, but I think we can make that up pretty quick. So with that, go ahead and that's number 4. We'll make our way toward this little mound. And we'll send Sam on that. And Fabio says, where the hunter epic bow and staff quest started back in vanilla. The hunter's epic bow quest. I didn't play hunter back then, so I didn't even know that was a thing for those guys. So we'll stand over that. So Fabio, just so I'm understanding correctly, you're saying that there was a epic bow quest in vanilla for hunters, right? Oh, near the giant trees? Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that. Like I said, I played a warrior back then, and it was amateur hour every time I logged on. So there is 2 rares back here. So we'll go ahead and kill this guy just to take a look at him real quick. Let's see. I have killed these rares before, so I'm not too concerned with any mechanics they may have. Plus, like I said, on looking at the spreadsheet, it doesn't look like there's too much of a danger relating to any of the rares, as well as the quest, to be honest. So with that, let's go ahead and run over here. Oops, we need to stay back on this side. Run over here real quick. Sean says, "Hey Qyune, how you doing?" Good morning, Sean. How are you doing? We're doing pretty good over here. If I could just work my way around the hill. We started at level 45. We are up to... There we go. There he is. This guy's got about 6k health. I'm going to kill the wolf just so I don't have to deal with 2 mobs at once. But yeah, not bad. We started at 45 and we're almost at 49, and we haven't even hit the 2-hour mark, so kind of excited for that. Alright, so with that, let's we have 4 soul shards, so we should be able to, yeah, get 2 of these things off here. There we go. Perfect. And then there's a spider just south of here. And then, let's see. Frozen Coast says, Rock Billar questline. Huh. Yeah, like I said, I didn't play a hunter, so no idea. And Sean says, "I'm doing good, Ben." Oh, that's good to hear, Sean. Like I said, we're doing pretty well ourselves, so the channel is a little busy for Saturday morning, so thank you guys for being a part of it. Usually, when the stream's small, we just try to get to know each other a little bit, say hi, and talk about all things Warcraft, but it is starting to pick up as far as activity goes, so thank you guys for that. Alright, so with that, we'll keep going. Like I said, there's a black and red spider over here that may be up. Let's see. It says, oh no, Frost says flashbacks from cunning demons through Winter Spring to Angoro. Nice. I do remember people bringing the giant dragons back then. There we go. Perfect. Giant dragons to Orgrimmar or Stormwind. I think it was more so Orgrimmar, just because the can't remember what dragons there were on Eastern Kingdoms. Alright, so with that, we need a lot more of the 2 more of the bugs, and then 4 more of the rich soil. Excuse me. Badgery, good morning. I think that's the first time I've seen your name. Let's see, the hunter's quest from the quest item in Molten Core. It's no longer in game. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, I don't think I started a hunter until maybe Burning Crusade or Wrath of the Lich King. Just as something to kind of do on the side, and then ended up being one of the favorite classes of mine. Still prefer the DK, but hunter is definitely a fun class. Let's see, we have that, and then we have the 2 dirt pros that have respawn. Fabio says, search hunter epic quest, everything you need to know on YouTube. Alright, I'll take a look at that. I'll have to look at the bow specs too. That's 5 of 7, 6 of 7, and 7 of 7 are right there. So that works out well. I wonder if we can do this while we're mounted. Oh, we can. Nice. So there you go. You can do this quest while you're mounted. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and nuke this one. And we'll complete this quest. And that is level 49. So not bad at all. Frozen Cone says, I remember Lord Kazakh being kited to Stormwind. You know what? I think I vaguely remember that. Alright, so with that, we need to... Our little tree's grown a little bit, so we're going to need to take him to sunlight, I think? Or is that the last leg? I know at one point we need to put him in sunlight and then kill more mobs. This might be it. Yes, that's it. And then we had the had Jim remove him because the cards died to his abilities. See, that's what was always fun back in vanilla, is when you had people not necessarily trolling, but you know, you had really rare events like that, and you know, they were so rare they kind of did build memories to a certain extent. I do miss that about Warcraft. There's people kiting stuff, doing stuff that's absolutely extraordinary, like kiting a mob all the way throughout the continent or zone. But I think they safeguard that for the most part these days. I did though in, what was it? This morning in Argus, I had 2 mobs chase me for a solid 4 minutes. I didn't have the recorder going, so I didn't have it to put up, but those mobs chased me from one end of what was it? Entourage? Yeah, Entourage to the other end. It was pretty ridiculous, actually. It's a good thing it's a night elf. And Muskin says, the game has definitely improved, but I like to see all the areas use the Legion leveling system, so you're in a zone that's a lot longer. Yeah, Moist, and I could not agree more with that. I'm hoping that, you know, something similar to Cataclysm allows them to go back and revamp the old world and apply that technology, like you're saying. I think that'd be good for multiple reasons. One of which just being able to stick with the storyline. You know, a lot of people have to choose between. Did he get it? Yeah, there you go. A lot of people have to choose between the efficiency of leveling versus the completion of the storyline, and it's a little unfortunate. We have to skip Ashenvale every single day, every single time we do the run. So hopefully they implement that. If they do, I think that's going to make the challenge even tougher, because a lot of the early mobs have tough fight mechanics, but you just kind of overpower them through levels. But if they scale with you, that's going to make things very interesting. And I think it would allow people to level together more freely as well. So we'll resummon Sam here. Bobby says, gotta go guys. Have fun all. Qyune, good luck man. Keep up with the, keep going. I'll catch you next stream. Alright, Bobby, you have a great rest of the afternoon. And yeah, we're set to level pretty quickly today. Like I said, we started at level 45. We've been doing this for less than 2 hours, and we're at 49 at the moment, so pretty happy with Failwood. Excuse me. Alright, so with that we need 1 more of these and 2 more lights. So I guess we'll stand on this one real quick, since we can do it mounted up. Okay, and knock out this guy. Excuse me guys, sorry. Weston says, I outlevel Pandaria and didn't finish the Jade Force questline, which to me spoiled it. Yeah, and Jade Force has a really good questline, a storyline should I say. And yeah, having that capability, you know, I know they don't want to, for example, have someone hit max level in Old World Zone. So let's say, for example, you know, we're going to a new continent. They want people to hit max level in that continent. So I think maybe to have the rest of zones scale up to their respective expansions. So the Azeroth, old vanilla Azeroth zones would scale up to 60. Then your Burning Crusade zones would scale up to 70. That way it kind of still progresses you and pushes you to go to your next area, but at the same time just gives you a lot more flexibility to follow through the quest line. I can feel my voice giving out here. But yeah, I do remember Ian saying something along the lines of, alright, we need to kill this guy. Along the lines of that, they were looking into implementing that technology, so we'll see. Hopefully they do. Alright, Alright, so with that, we'll just keep using this item here. And that's done. Accept that quest, grab the loot, and projector brought to the hill, and then we have to slay the demon. Alright. Let me switch mounts, that way we can run across the water. And drop this guy off. So there we go. We raised the little seedling here. And perfect. Alright, so with that, we are back in business, and we can now work on this demon. So kind of like Only was saying a minute ago, this demon does have a pretty significant knockback. You definitely don't want to engage him from outside the doorway, because he will knock you off and give you a whole new set of reasons to worry about the Ironman challenge. But for us, we're just going to kind of sneak into the room, drop a Chaos Bolt as long as he doesn't see us first, and then be ready to summon Sam once again. I think he hits pretty hard, so we'll just kind of keep an eye out for that. Let's see, Descartes, he says, is Descartes, Descartes, welcome to the stream, by the way. Good morning. Harja, good morning. How you been? How's your Warlock going? But Descartes, yes. So there's no heirlooms, there's no grouping with other people, and you can't die. So it's just pretty much to see how far can you get to 110. And like I said, I think the most recent numbers, there's been over 20,000 attempts, and there's only been 22 people. So it is a difficult challenge. More than welcome to join us, by the way. Alright, so I'm going to try to zoom in here just a little bit. Oh, you know what? I think we talked to him. Alright, so we have our Hellstones. We're going to stay and fight this guy, just because. Alright. Alright, here we go. So we're going to. Descartes says, oh, sounds like a challenge actually. Good morning to you, man. Good morning as well, Descartes. Like I said, that's the first time I think I've seen your name in the channel, so welcome to the stream. Give me 1 second, I'll catch back up. We're going to. Yep, there we go. Alright, so with that, we're at 86%. So just because he does hit like a truck, I'm going to generate a little bit of health and get off the wall. That way he doesn't knock me through it. Keep that up. The reason we're using the drain health as well is it gives both me and Sam a small shield to work with. So there we go. Alright, so with that, we are done here. Let's summon Sam back. And off we go. And Harja says, is this an extended stream? No, not today. We're going to keep it around the 3 to 4 hour mark, Harja. So Monday's going to be our extended stream. And with that, let's see if we can jump down here. Or not. That's fine. Excuse me. But yeah, Drekart, like I said, it's actually really fun. It sounds like it's difficult, but it's probably one of the more fun things I've done in Warcraft here recently. And that's coming from someone who's really enjoyed Legion. Just to kind of be clear about that. I have enjoyed Legion, it's just this has been addicting in and of itself. Gamer's Grave, good morning, Gamer. How are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Let's see, Pitbull says, how's everything going? We just hit 49, we're about halfway into it. And we are heading north, it looks like. All the way around, okay. Alright, so we'll do that. We'll head north. And catch back up with chat. Pitbull says, back again. He's still alive, all good. Yes, we're still alive. We've leveled 4 times in 2 hours, so that's not too bad in my opinion. Hopefully we have a competitive 0 to 60 time. But yeah, it's been going pretty smooth. I enjoy Fellwood for the most part. Jacob says, good morning, Jacob. Welcome back. How are you doing? Arja says, oh, can't watch it on Monday. Oh, really, Arja? What's going on your end? How's your Warlock coming, by the way? I think I stopped by your channel a day or two ago, but I haven't been able to pop up on YouTube before today's stream. Yesterday I kind of spent the day crafting a project, so today's going to be yard work day, I believe. Gamer Screen says that's because your good morning. It's my good night. I gotcha. That's right. I forgot you were Australia, right? Let's see. We do have an owl that flies around here. I think it's like the great white owl or something. But its patrol path is pretty wide. We'll worry about that later. And let's see. Chris says, I have a hard time making it past 20. It's just, honestly, Cruxus. Wait a minute. Krenos, sorry. Honestly, Krenos, I think the reason a lot of people struggle, especially in the early levels, is that there's a mental shift from, you know, going in there guns blazing, you know, not necessarily strategizing, not necessarily every single move, but you kind of want to have a decent mental map of what you want to do next. Otherwise, stuff does sneak up onto you. And the other thing is, a huge portion of the Ironman success comes from experience. So we've died 6 times now, 4 on the Hunter, twice on the Warlock, and it just comes with experience. It's a little demotivating. It takes the wind out of your sails when you do die, but the hardest thing about the Ironman challenge is getting back into it. So there is that to consider. Alright, says my Warlock is 31, and the reason I can't is because of school. I got you, Harger, that's right. No problem there, man. You prioritize what's important to you. So knock that guy out. I do kind of, just with my background, I do prioritize and encourage people to pursue their education as much as possible. I do think that, generally speaking, provides people with more opportunities throughout lifetime. Let's see, we need to use the stick on this thing. Also need to clean out my bags here pretty soon. Do I just stand nearby it? Okay, yeah, you just stand nearby it. That works. And Gamer says, correct, I'm living down under. Very nice. How's I think it's winter, closing in on spring for you guys right now, right? If I understand my weather and hemisphere correlation. Cameron says it's good to see you so determined. You know, a lot of it I think comes from just enjoying the challenge. You know, I wouldn't say it's for everyone, but I think more people would enjoy it than they realize, just because those who enjoy the immersive side of the gaming, it does give you that element of every quest does have its what do you want to call it? Does have its danger, even if it's kind of a mundane quest, something like we're doing right now, where we're just killing mobs. You know, if things go out of control, you know, the consequence is going to be death. So it's I don't know. It's kind of changed my style of questing a good bit, because as you notice, I've kind of taken a circular path, just subconsciously going on the outer perimeter. You don't want to drive a straight line into a pack of mobs or a questing area, just because if things go wrong, or you accidentally get feared, or you know, just things you don't expect happen, you can recover from it and not make the situation worse. So it's just, like I said, it's a mental shift, and it makes it a lot of fun. Alright, so with that we need one more wisp. Normally, if, say for example, if I was playing with heirlooms and just leveling normally, I would be on my mount, I'd have run past this guy, clicked this thing, and been on my way. But because this thing might put me in combat, you know, I've taken the time out of the day to kill it. And it's just that detail and focus on detail and attention that's needed in the anime challenge that makes it fun. Pitbull says, anyone from good old Germany here? Except me. Pitbull, I think there's been quite a few people from Germany pop in and out, so I know there's a tremendous amount from Europe in general, but I want to say there's been at least 5 or 6 people who've called themselves out from being from Germany. Alright, he says, I'm playing this Gnome Rogue. He isn't in the Ironman challenge, by the way, but I'm not used to playing with someone so short. Yeah, it takes me a little bit to get used to the gnomes, just because you can drown in a puddle. Lady Qyune likes the gnomes, so I got a stern stare there. Let's see. Let's go ahead and make our way toward the Horde camp. Now, the thing is with the Horde is that you want to, especially if you're new to a zone, just want to be careful that you don't run into a NPC, faction-based horde with guns blazing and get one-shotted. But the section we're going to run into is purely NPCs, not faction-related, so there's not too much to worry about with that. Drakart says, does the Ironman challenge only work with locks, or could I try it out on a warrior? Drakart, you could do it on any class you want. I would recommend doing it on a class that starts at level 1, just because you get to experience Azeroth as close as it originally was. Let me go ahead and run over here real quick. But the reason we're doing Warlocks is just to raise awareness for Friends for Impact and help them reach their goals. So by no means do you have to feel obligated to level Warlock, though. Alright, so let's go ahead and nuke this guy. Pitbull says, at 100, you're 100% sure. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like I said, the girlfriend kind of likes the gnomes. I have a gnome hunter just for the sake of having one, but not a huge fan of them. Alright, says that Pitbull. RC Germany, I think so. Oh, Germany, I think so. Gotcha. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and need to kill another. For some reason, I was thinking we had 2 quests when we did this one, but I might be remembering that incorrectly. Alright, that's done. And then we'll knock out this guy. Maybe they drop a quest item. That's interesting though. Walkman says, hey Q, sorry I'm late. Congrats on reaching 50. We're almost 50. We're about 40% from it. But welcome to the stream. How's your afternoon going? Yeah, with regards to, you know, we were talking about geography and where people are from. There's a pretty strong group from Australia, I believe. So welcome. Thank you guys for being a part of the channel. The land down under. I don't want to stand on that. That's probably going to bug it out. And I have aggro. I have no idea where Sam's gone. Oh, Sam's stuck on the log there. And he's bugged it out. That's nice. Alright, so let's get our health back. And I'm going to resummon Sam just to get him off the log. There we go. Alright, so that's done. We need how many more? 3 more. Let's go ahead and nuke this guy. Pitbull says, you need to come closer. Have your target in sight. Usually you can, you know, target mobs through these items, but I think with Sam being stuck on the log, it bugged him out completely. But we're good. We got it. Tootie says gnomes are good in PvP because you can't see them. I hide in the bushes. Very nice. If I did focus on PvP, I would probably do a gnome rogue, just because, like you said, if you can get your elixir, your noggin fogger elixir right, Makes them even smaller, I believe. So just kind of hard to deal with, especially in a large group. Let's go ahead and knock this guy out real quick. Alright, says, I like the using stealth. Oh no. And Moist says, now apart from the big red dame over here. Alright, 1 second. There we go. Alright, so with that, what's gonna says, oh, I've got some, apart from that big name over here. Oh, I see what you're saying. The name over here. You know, the thing is though, Moist, a lot of people play, especially the PvE side, they play with nameplates off, just for that, I guess, immersion feeling. But I think for the most part, your PvE players make that as large as possible and easily visible, just for that reason. But yeah, so it's still semi-useful in your casual battlegrounds, but not ideal for your competitive RPGs and arenas. Alright, so we need to go down here, I believe. So yeah, we'll go down here. I think this rare is within the cave. This large green section is the owl that flies in this area. I haven't seen her or him, whatever it is, in quite a while. It might be up. Normally it's pretty easy to see, just because it is kind of stands out for the most part, but I don't see it, so we won't spend too much time. Oh, never mind. There we go. Go ahead and nuke that. That's going to be a free, probably 4K experience-ish, maybe. And yeah, 4K, very nice. And with that, let's go ahead and work our way closer. I want to say the question mark's at the back of the cave, I believe. I think it is. Just avoid these guys as much as possible. So something that's a little off. It seems like this is almost too empty. Oh, there's the bomb, so alright, that works. Let's see, Tootie says, I have a no warrior, I killed those kneecaps. Very nice, Tootie. Someone has a no warrior and they kill kneecaps. Let's see. It's Donis. It's Donis. It says, Ironman, you're just leveling through quest. Welcome, Donis. I think that was the first time I've seen your name. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so pretty much for the Ironman is to go from 1 to 110 without dying, using white and gray quality gear, not grouping with anyone, not taking any potions, flasks, or elixirs, and leveling. Like I said, solely through either grinding mobs or questing. Let's see, there is a bomb back there, so we'll blow that up real quick. But yeah, like I said, welcome to the stream. I think that's the first time I've seen your name. And with that, we'll grab the bomb back here. We need all of 8 of these things. With that, and I think normally we'll just go straight to the back of the cave, but I believe this one has a rare in this lower level, so we'll kind of venture that way and see what we can find. Pitboy says, try to play a gnome and point of view, can't even see above the grass. Yeah, I would not do that whatsoever, especially in your, like you said, your grassier regions. I'm not too big. There's only a handful of people who play in that first person. I've never been able to enjoy that level or that style of playing with first person view. It just, I don't think the game was designed for it. Some people can pull it off, but let's see. Do we have any of these guys? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and work our way back there then. It says, is your wife playing too? I mean, at the moment, she is playing. I think she's working on rep. Working on the Hunter ult. So yes, she is playing. Like that, we'll go ahead and that. I think today we'll end up going. Are we doing pets today or mounts? Huh? Oh yeah, we're doing the recruiter friends, so we're leveling. We're doing neither of those. We're leveling. So I'm hoping I don't pull both of those. Yeah, I don't. Alright, there we go. So we'll open up with another Chaos Bolt for this guy. And William says you need to dump your inventory, Qyune. Oh, you're right, I do. Thank you. We'll yeah, I'm at 0 backspace here, so we'll get rid of that real quick. Thank you for that, William. So there we go. We'll vendor stuff as soon as we get out of the cave, but we'll just kind of plow our way through. We do have our Hearthstone up just in case. Yeah, I think we can just fly to the next area actually. So we'll move our way through here. Qyune says, I wish I could get my hubby to play. He doesn't know what a mouse button is. Yeah, it's I don't know. You know, you kind of want to have common interests as much as possible when it comes to things like that, but yeah, when you have that separation, it's, I don't know, it's fun to watch new players play in that sense too, because it's kind of interesting to see how much we take for granted and see how much is just passive knowledge for people who've been playing for as long as we have. It's fun to see people who are almost unfamiliar with computers in general, and then even more so when they get addicted and play for, oops, let's go ahead. And that's all I think about for the first couple of weeks of gameplay. I did miss some matches. Paradin says, back now, Qyune, what did I miss? We've made it to level 49. We're closing in on 50 here. But we've actually gotten the achievement for Failwood, which is going to going to push us to Winter Spring here pretty soon. So we're doing pretty good. Moving through this content fairly quickly, which is expected. Failwood is a very good zone for leveling. But he says he's has enough addictions and doesn't need to start a new one. But at least he knows, right? Or at least he knows, right? That is funny. That's kind of why I don't play any other games. I'm in the same boat. You know, it's just Warcraft in and of itself takes so much of my time that I don't think I could manage college and, you know, maintaining the house to a certain extent in combination with playing a whole nother game. And honestly, it's the newness of the game that gets you more addicted than anything else. Let me summon Sam back. Addicted to what?
Bacon. Farming bacon.
Yeah, so Lady Qyune, I'm gonna have to tell Jennifer we're using that now. She's addicted to farming. How many pieces of bacon do you have? I want to say she was somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 now, but I think you got up to what, 400 or 600? Yeah, 400 or 600 slices of bacon. Just really into the cooking aspect of the game. The boy says, I tried to bring my wife into Warcraft. No chance. She's probably the best woman in the world, but absolutely minor talented when it comes to computer games. No eye-hand coordination. That'd be very nice. Yeah, it takes a little bit. And I think a lot of it too is with Warcraft as it is these days. You know, we have literally over a decade's worth of information where we've played it and we've, you know, gotten over the learning curve, and nothing's really all that new to us. But oh, there's Rare in the back, I think. So you know, for new players, it is pretty daunting to take on Warcraft, especially if it's not something, you know, computer games in general or gaming in general. It's just something you don't really do. So nuke this guy. So it just takes a little bit of TLC, a little bit of time, and I think the worst thing is for them to feel like they're behind or feel like they're slowing you down. So yeah, when let's go ahead and get rid of this. There we go. So with that, we'll click on this, and we should be done here. Excuse me. And then the quest is back outside the cave. Okay. I thought we could hearth out of here, but we actually have to run back out. Just because the... Where did we have our hearthstone at? Whisperwind Grove. Nope. That's way down south. Okay. We're going to have to run out. Excuse me. What says, empty your trash if you want the BOE. Yeah, I'm going to have to sell that stuff once I get out of this cave. We did get some... Oh, I can't see the boots. I'll sneak by this guy a little bit. Hardy says, I tried to get my mom to play it, and she got scared when a level 1 mob attacked her. It's just kind of like getting used to it. If you guys are familiar with Somebody's Mother, she's a YouTuber on... a YouTuber that streams Warcraft, and she actually does the higher end content. Like, she does the heroic rating, the high mythic plus dungeons, and I think she said she was in her 50s, or I don't think she's in her 60s. I think she says she's in her 50s, but I've actually really enjoyed watching her do the gameplay, and it's just interesting, you know, to see how different people are, in the sense that they can play the game despite, you know, the stereotypes of people saying, you know, that the grandparents can't play the computer games. I actually enjoy playing with those types of players more so than anything else, just because they have a wealth of information, generally speaking. They might not know much about Warcraft, but they're just generally easygoing people that treat people well. Alright, so with that, I'm going to get out of here before I mount up. Or sorry, before I sell stuff. We'll get out of here, and then once we get to the quest guy, we'll sell stuff. But for now... Whoa, okay. I did not see him. I don't know if he's just a respawn, or if that's how that was designed to be. He does fear, though. That's interesting. Alright, so with that, we'll blow up this as well. Sam's over there looking at something else. Tootie says, I got her beat. I'm 60. Are you really, Tootie? I think, Minge. I haven't seen him on this morning yet. I think Minge is also in his 60s, I believe. I believe he did. And Tootie says, I should start a, geriatric guild. Very nice. Like, I don't know, I've always enjoyed playing with the older age brackets, just because there's... Oh, that wasn't a good move at all. Alright, so we'll go ahead and build up our health a little bit. We have health stones, but the spell generates so much healing that we don't need to use them all too much, unless of course we get feared. He got that fear off right before I could get my chaos bolt going. And then he stuns. Man, these guys are kind of hard to deal with. So if you had two of these on you, it could be a little rough between the shadow lock, the stun, and the fear. Man, that's pretty intense for a average mob there. Now says, hey Q, good morning now. How are you doing? You feeling better? And Hardy says, hey now. Walkman says, older age players are better at the game. If, to a certain extent, I would say so, especially when just treating people like people. I think that just comes with age for the most part. But let's go ahead and sell stuff and repair our gear. So once again, we're going to sell all of our soulbound items and set aside the BOEs, the meat, and the oh, we did get cloth leggings there. The BOEs, the meat, and the cloth. I have quite a few BOEs actually. Save the wolf meat. Ah, we'll put that aside. Put that aside. Sell that. This is just the slower portion of the stream. Only lasts about 2 minutes, but just takes a little bit of effort to make sure everything's taken care of. That way we don't accidentally equip it later. Fine on account. Put our bags and stuff up here. But yeah, I haven't seen somebody's mother in a while, so I'm hoping she's doing well. Let's see. Do that. Turn that on. And nope. The bear flanks, surprisingly for my realm, the bear flanks sell really well for 5 gold apiece. So I don't know if someone's just leveling something, but rainbow generator we already have. For those who are unfamiliar, the rainbow generator is where you get it. It comes out of Fellwood, but since I already have it, it doesn't have any use to us. Still, believe it or not, no new robe. That's interesting. That's actually kind of surprising. Alright, so with that, we can update the pants. We get 1 armor out of our upgrade there. And what about the staff? Pretty much the same thing. Is that what we're in? Yeah, it is. Okay. So we'll close that. And I guess we'll save the purple lotus just for the off chance that it sells well. It probably won't. There we go. Alright, so now we can accept turn in our quest. Now I can catch back up with chat. Bamboo says, hey, good morning, Bamboo. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I am way behind chat here. Now it says, how is everyone today? We've been doing well. You'll be proud of me. I've leveled, well, let's see. There we go. 5 times in about 2.5 hours. So, not too bad. Alright, so with that, we'll tuck that away. And turn in these 2 quests. So, we're not doing too bad now. Nowhere near your speed of leveling, but we're getting there. Alright, so with this, throw a bomb at a nearby oil gusher to ignite it. Do we need to kill these guys? No, just the panicking warriors. I'm going to kill him anyway, just so that he doesn't sneak up behind us. Now says huge grass Qyune. Thank you, Now. Like I said, this is the furthest I've been on a Warlock anyway, so that's exciting. Finally, we are making some significant progress here. I think Deathless is what makes this leveling process a lot slower, so I need to find a way to mitigate how slow that is. Let's see. Mil2K, good morning. It's been a while since I've seen your name as well. It says bear flanks are good since they make 2 different types of food, melee and caster class. Okay, I gotcha. Welcome back, by the way. And it says grats on 50. And let's see, what do we have? Rosvin, good morning. I haven't seen you this morning yet. How's your morning going? Welcome. It says, question for Neil. What's your secret to leveling so fast? Yes, tell us your secrets. Wow, that was like 3 stuns in a row. Good lord. And alright. I did not remember these guys being as rough as they are as far as these stuns go. Let's see if we can mitigate this a little bit quicker this time. There we go. Now we're back in business. Alright, so with that, we'll throw a bomb over here. And I'm going to go ahead and kill this guy just so I can focus on that one running around way over there. Now it says stick to small quest hubs, do quests in chunks, and hand in same. Breadcrumbs will lead you into other hubs. Then Razvan says, okay, just finished doing the just finished doing the cleaning. Very nice. Yeah, after my stream today, I have to get out in the yard and cut the grass and clean up a little bit of the remaining debris from Hurricane Irma. It's not too bad. It's mostly like branches and stuff that have blown in through other people's yards. Alright, so with that we do have a Chaos Bolt we can use here. There we go. And we'll see if we can get him from max range. Very nice. Yeah, so I would suggest that if you can stun the little crazed workers here, that would make your life a little bit easier. They do tend to chain their CCs. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and knock out this guy as well. And Danar says, good morning, Qyune. Good morning, Danar. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Especially thank you guys for being a part of Saturday. I know everyone's got a ton of things they could be doing on a Saturday morning or afternoon, so thank you guys. Hope everyone's doing well. William says, Qyune would have leveled so much quicker if it weren't for the Enraged Kodos and Deathless. Yeah, that did slow me down quite a bit. More so than ever before, really. I don't know if that quest was just bugged out, but there was just no Kodos to give the little feast to. Oops. Alright, so that's, we need one more, two more of these warriors, sorry, the workers slain. And then, one more fire ignited, so not bad. And then I think once this is done, we might have one more quest here, but then it starts turning our attention toward the Furbolgs, if we can speak, and making our way toward winter spring. So we dot this up. It says I'm doing good, and yourself? We are not bad. Like I said, we've leveled 5 times in the past 2.5 hours, so I think that's pretty good, especially at this level. I think our previous level has been a little bit slower, but this hasn't been bad at all. Alright, so that's 7 of 7. So we're going to turn these 2 in. And off we go. Now it says, Pitbull says, don't tell them. Nice. I see which side you're on, Pitbull. Oops, let's go ahead and take care of that. Just so we don't... I would, just for this race, I would run through it and keep going. But one, this guy stuns quite a bit. So that would probably put 2 mobs on us. And then we'd have to run further than the quest mob is. Our turn-in is over there. There we go. So it wouldn't really do us any good. With that, hopefully there's nothing else to worry about. Then Mil2K says, Qyune streams Wednesdays 10 minutes before I leave for work. Saturday is pretty much the only time I can watch live. Oh really? Well, dang, sorry to hear that, Mel. I do. Monday we're going to be doing an extended stream, so I don't know how that plays into your work, but Monday would be extended. Have a little bit of free time, which probably means I need to work on a little bit of my coursework at some point this weekend, but yeah, Monday should be an extended stream. And Pitbull says, to be honest, I wish WoW looked a little less toonish. You know, Pitbull, part of me wonders if Warcraft is, or Blizzard should I say, is Blizzard. A lot of people have been asking for vanilla servers, and I'm wondering if they're trying to add their own element to the vanilla servers and possibly release something that's more aesthetically pleasing. Like you said, a little bit more realism, but then again, as cartoonish as it is, it still looks pretty good and it retains a lot of players, so it's honestly, it's kind of anybody's guess as far as what they're going to do next. But I know previously they said they weren't going to release another MMO like Warcraft, but they've gone quite back and forth quite a bit throughout the life of Warcraft as far as what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. So it's one of those things that's just kind of best to sit back, wait and watch, and hope the next change is something good. Now it says agree with football. That's why I like EQ back in the day. The realistic things. I've never played EQ, believe it or not. I don't know how it is these days. I think there's still servers going and expansions and all the other content that goes with it, but I haven't played 1 minute of that game. I heard it's a lot tougher. So with that, we'll turn this in. And then we have quite a few quests to do in this area, which is a good thing. You want a lot of quests in the same area. The only downside is I think for one of the follow-up quests we're going to need Runecloth, and I haven't seen that drop yet. So we'll kind of keep an eye out for that. Note says keeping things simple. Graphically also allows players to not need high-end PCs, which is very true. Practically any PC can run this game smoothly. For the most part, yes. I think Blizzard just here recently ended their support for users with Windows 10. So it's slowly catching up, but it's definitely better than it used to be. And that's kind of the other thing too, is that when they go back to legacy servers, I think people are going to be kind of surprised at the graphics change that's happened between now and then. It's not been it's been very progressive, meaning that it's you can't notice too much of a change right off the bat. So if they did go back, they would have to kind of touch up the graphics on a lot of the older content as well. But it's doable. I mean, there's a lot of people that want that content, so we'll see how it plays out. Like that, let's go ahead. Hopefully these guys start dropping some Runecloth, because I think we're going to need some when it comes to the quest turn in inside the cave. We'll see though. Rosman says, well, you did wait a decade for StarCraft 2. That is true. And I've heard rumors that they might kind of revamp the Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. But that's kind of a completely different game altogether. What Sean says, Ironman, by the way. What's going on, Sean? Good morning. Yes, sir. This is the Ironman race, and see if we can knock this guy out before. Whoa. Okay. So he called for help, and let's go ahead and apply that. That way we get Sam working for us. We'll just nuke this guy right off the bat. There we go. That was a little surprising. I forgot that they called for help, depending on the mob. Alright, so we're good. Sam's a little rough, so we'll resummon him. Tootie says, I can't run it on this computer. Really? What kind of processor do you have, Tootie? It says, M2K, good point. I play on a 2015 Mac. It still runs kind of. Alright, so for that, let's go ahead and nuke this real quick. I think we can get our 4th and 5th weapons. Whoops. Take care of this guy real quick. And Paradin says, what's for lunch, Qyune? Ah, that's a good question. I don't know, that's a good question. Curry? Or do we have that? Is that gone? I have no idea, Paradin. Oh yeah, we could do that. We might make pizza. There you go. Paradin, we might make pizza. Right, so let's nuke these two guys real quick. I should probably stand further out from 40 yards, but that's okay. As long as he doesn't call for help, it's just going to be these two. Until he says Windows XP. Oh wow, yeah. Windows Window with the latest patch. And then the Radeon. Oh wow. Yeah, so yours does have a little bit of a date to it. Let's go ahead and nuke this one real quick. And then now it says Paradin, love your food questions. Yeah, I think Paradin is hungry. That's kind of funny. Alright, so we did get the quest item finally. Take that to inside. So like I said, at this point, I'm kind of hoping I forget if we need 10 or 15, maybe 20 pieces of fell cloth. But I don't have a single piece, I believe. No, I don't. Alright, so we'll probably skip that quest as we normally do. Not a big deal. PogChamp says, look who's back. What's going on, PogChamp? Good morning, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Or welcome back. Alright, so we have 13 to 15 here. I think we'll work our way across the lake here and turn this quest in. I want to say once we turn this in, we have to kill the named mob over there. But also, this gets us a little bit closer to a rare spawn if it's up. And that would be 6 and 7. I want to say that he's back here in the corner. Let's take a quick look, just because we can. And then Hardy says, I love riding on this Lucid Nightmare. I need to still work on doing that. I haven't gotten mine yet. That one's going to take a little bit of time. Sam's working his way back into the room. Pitbull says, will you go to Ngoro Crater? Not if I can help it. That one was pretty rough questing, generally speaking. We're level 50, and Winter Spring will get us probably very close, if not to 55. Let me think. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not really crazy about Ngoro at all, to be honest. Alright, so there's nothing here to look at. Jennifer says, good morning, Peach. Good morning, Jennifer. How are you doing? Let's go ahead and kill this guy. We've managed to level about 5 times this morning, and so we're sitting here right about level 50. Not been too bad at all. Pretty happy with today's progress. How's your morning going, by the way? Judy says, I can load well, but my gnome only has eye shoes and 1 hair. Very nice. That's kind of funny. Let's go ahead and blow this guy up as well. Excuse me. Oh, you know what? We have to turn in that quest. It's actually behind us. So we'll do that real quick. And Pog says, can I ask why I did the best level 10 Horde player on Warsong Battleground on Firestorm? So Pog, are you asking us why, or? Bless you. Let's see, let's take care of that. And turn in these 2 quests here. I think we're working our way through the cave at this point. Jennifer says, late this morning, allergies been kicking my butt. Happy though because I finally got the spirit berry yesterday. Oh,
Grats.
Lady Qyune says grats. Very nice, Jennifer. Grats again. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and kill this guy and get back on the road. Says, Grats, Jennifer, not easy to get since it's constantly camped. It really is. It took us about 2 weeks to get it, I think. So, yeah, grats to both of you. Jennifer says, thanks guys, and thanks Lady Qyune. And let's see, with that, we'll turn these in and introduce ourselves. So, Winter Spring, I think. Pog says, on Firestorm. Pog, are you asking if this is a private server? Just trying to gauge your question there. I guess I could go ahead and answer it. No, it's retail. Let's see. Travel through the terminal hole and exit. Okay, we can do that. And then that doesn't do us any good because it doesn't generate any sort of XP. But no, this is retail. Just in case there's any confusion with regards to that. So we'll turn in this quest here real quick. And then make our way into Winter Spring finally. Let's see. Take care of this while he's here. That was a nice chunk of XP. And I think this is the rune cloth that we needed that we don't have. Excuse me. Alright, so with that, we'll exit out. The reason I don't pick it up is even if I do get the 30 rune cloth, I'd prefer to sell it than get the, I don't know, say 8 to 10k XP. So, Archie says, we just need 4 more subs at the, oh, we do, wow. Very nice, well, thank you guys. Appreciate that. So we're only 4 away, very nice. So Winterfall activity. So hopefully maybe when we make it into that 1,000 mark barrier, we'll get a little bit more sustainable chat. The stream today has been very nice. I was watching a couple people's streams yesterday and they were struggling quite a bit, so I don't think Warcraft has worked out necessarily all the bugs, but it's getting there. We struggled pretty hard on, I want to say it was Wednesday, and then a little bit on Thursday, so we didn't have too many issues Friday, and today's been pretty smooth as well, so we're getting there. Now says, I'm sad, I didn't realize our first time to 60 was the only thing that counts if you died, like I did. You better your time, oh, it won't count, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think Keithy has done that just to kind of make it more competitive for, you know, the first time people hit level 60, just to give them that milestone. But yeah, like I said, it is the first one, or like you said. Alright, so with that, we'll turn in those two real quick, or except these two. Alright, so we have a good bit of quests to do. We'll start with the heart, I think. Grab this guy's heart. With the hunter, you know what? Let's take a second. What I'm going to do is pull up the dangerous quest for this zone real quick, just to see if there's anything that I don't know. Because the thing is with a hunter versus a warlock is that the application of damage. So we're just making sure that I don't come across anything unexpected. The 2 quests to look out for is Echo 3 and Ursus. Okay. So this one doesn't seem like it's too big of a concern, so we'll keep going as we normally do. Let's see. Milk2K says, what's your play time on this character so far? Oh, I did forget to do the play to 50. Whoops. That's a good question. Thank you for that. So level 50 is 22 hours. 22 hours and 13 minutes. So yeah, not going to compete with, or not going to be able to compete with only there for that. I think as fast as we've leveled today, we probably won't have the lowest to 60 time, but if that's the case, we'll just go for the highest level. I think he said he's 72 earlier, so. Dude says, it took me 4 months to get, Loki, did it really? Wow. Let's go this way. I'm gonna hit this bear just so we can get 4 soul shards out of this. And then Tootie said, there in Winter Spring. Or flank, good sell on the H. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yes, the bear flank. We'll definitely keep that. Let me go ahead and use my soul shards here before they fade away. Wow, they did fade away. Whoops. Alright. We tried. I was trying to get 2 soul shards. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Tootie says, or Hardy says, wow, the Hinterlands is such a beautiful place in Warcraft. It is. I haven't been there in probably over a year, but the little bit I did over there was nice. I do kind of prefer the more green landscapes as opposed to the deserts. With that, we might come across a rare out here. Maybe not. Not too big of a focus. This guy, eventually we're going to have to kill this guy again, because I think the ones on the road will drop a package, so I don't think we're up to that quest. We just kind of get the beads off of them. And it says, I'm going to hop on my Warlock now. Alright, Harjan, good luck. I think you said you were 31, right? Is try to get to level 35, maybe 40 today. Well, good luck. Watch out, the Eastern Kingdoms is pretty dangerous. Torchlight says, hey there dude, first time viewer here. Well, welcome Torchlight. Welcome to the stream. How's your morning going? Let's see, Hearthstone player, but it's funny hearing you talk about all of the lore that I know about. Good work. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. We are, one of my goals in the channel is to eventually get to a point where I can easily talk about multiple aspects of the lore throughout Warcraft. That's one of the things I've kind of regretted in leveling up over the years, that I just kind of accepted the quest and looked on the map for the place to go. So eventually I'll catch up on the lore and we'll be able to talk about it more in depth, but as of now I'm still kind of a noob when it comes to it. It says those on the road are non-aggressive. Yes, that's kind of why I figured I'd knock them out. But they do still drop the beads, so if you do see them, they are worth killing. I guess I could go see if the rare is up, but I'm not too focused on it at the moment. And game says 4 months of WoW time is nothing. I still don't have Invincible. Do you really? You know, I want to say I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 plus attempts on the Invincible reigns. That one's eluded me quite a bit, Moist Games. Let's see, let's go ahead and nuke this guy as well. Jennifer says, I got the saber. Sadly, since I play Horde more consistently, I can only ride it occasionally. Yeah, every time I come to Winter Spring, I keep saying I'm going to bring out the DK and knock out the quest and rep to get that mount, but haven't done it yet. It's all I can do to just keep up with Argus, to be honest. Let's see, he says, not crazy about the snowy places, much of that in real life. Last March we had 46 inches of snow in one day. That's insane, duty. Wow. That's crazy. Being from the south, if we get half an inch, that closes everything down. In all fairness though, I think in an area of 5 states within the south, I think there's like one snow remover, so you know it makes sense that it shuts down the south. Imperio says, hi everyone, good morning Imperio, how are you doing? Welcome back. Thank you everyone for joining me on Saturday. I know it's everybody's day off and there's stuff to do in the afternoon as well as the morning, so I appreciate that. M2K says, the mount grind is so easy compared to pre-kata. Oh, for the Invincibles? Yeah, just running through it. Excuse me. Chapter Master says, Purge, wait yeah, I think so there, Chapter. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Good morning. How is your morning going? Let's see, let's go ahead and knock out this guy. What is this? This is 40 yards. That's odd. And then Judy says, much well, I had a rough time. We had to dig a hole for her to do her business. That's funny. It's funny to see how animals react, generally speaking, to the first time they've seen snow or something like that. Just that that whole expression of, I'm not sure about this, but I guess I'll venture out. I don't think Sam has seen snow, has he? No. In 20 years, this cat hasn't seen snow. Alright, so with that, there is no rare in this location. We're just kind of killing these guys for the beads as well as the quest to kill them. And then turn this in over here. M2K says, for the Winter Saber, it used to take weeks of grinding, but can be done in a few days at most now. Yeah, I think that is pretty accurate. And that's kind of why I was going to farm it back when it did take weeks or months, depending on how aggressive you were with it. I didn't mess with that at all. Alright, so we'll turn that in, accept it, and the beach quest is the only one we're missing, right? Yeah, okay. So what we'll do is we'll kind of grind our way out just to kind of collect them as we get them, but we're going to be going back and forth still in the area, so there's no reason to camp out here and just start grinding mobs. See if we can... Whoops, I did not mean to aggro that guy. The totems can be kind of annoying to deal with because they tend to be immune to a lot of stuff. So we're still at 100%. We'll go ahead and resummon Sam here. M2K says, oh yeah, and 2 says, I remember that, but it wasn't. I did it, but it wasn't fun. Yeah, I did not do it just because I knew it wouldn't be fun. It says, it took me a month to get mine because it was a single daily quest. That's not too bad though, on mine. I'm kind of hoping I get more of these Argus mounts dropped. They did a lot of very nice work on the Argus mounts. There's quite a few that I would like to get at the moment. Let's see, Moist says the whiskers used to take 30 days. I do not. That's one thing about vanilla I don't miss. It made stuff much more I guess I wouldn't say worth it. The stuff that you acquired meant more to you. There we go. But for the most part, it was a very grindy phase for Warcraft in those days. He says, speaking of mounts, I'm so annoyed that I don't have the Fox mount yet. My whole guild has it but me. Well, it makes you feel any better, Tootie, which you probably won't. I don't have it either. I've kind of stopped doing that scenario over the past couple months because that thing hasn't dropped for me yet. So I know how that. I know that feeling all too well. Yep. Now 2K says, killing those giants was brutal since they were all elites at the time. Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't mess with those guys at all. Let me see. I think you're talking about the. Oh, there we go. 51. Very nice. Thank you. So we have these, and yeah, the elites that were around in this area, I believe. Yeah, those were rare, or not rare, but difficult to deal with. So I didn't mess with that at all. This is where we can grab the crate real quick. And Torchlight says, still messes with our cat's depth perception, and if and when he gets this side of the pond. Yeah, it's I know you're new to the channel, Torchlight. I have a 20-year-old ragdoll cat, and we're gonna see if we can expose him to snow. Just to see his reaction. That'd be kind of fun to watch. All right, so with that. We do have the beads, and no, we need 3 more beads. We just need to kill the sludge guys over here. Let's see. Motuka says that was a quick level. Yeah, it was. Mill, the leveling from Felwood and Winter Spring, and I want to say a little bit of Badlands as well. Is pretty fast leveling. This time around, I don't think I'm going to spend... It depends on how far we get, actually. Let me take that back. It depends on how far we get in the leveling process in Winter Spring, but if we can make it to 55 here, I'd prefer just to go straight into Badlands and get as far as we can. Excuse me. But, yeah, it's... Silithus and Ungoro I don't think are going to be a good match for the Warlock. That's one of the 7 sludges we need. Tootie says, well, I think you might have a Tootie says, well, I think you might be non-confrontational in personality, Qyune. Yeah, that's what my parents have told me. Try to reduce that as much as possible, I suppose. Oops. A lot of it comes, though, just from, you know, how do we want to say it? My education opportunities have been pretty difficult to come across, so I kind of, as much as possible, value learning. And so when someone says something that's, say, different from my opinion, I tend to value those conversations more so than I would if you know, we all had the same opinion. Just because you tend to learn more, whether it's the other person's perspective or, say, just the different knowledge that they bring. I'm pretty firm believer in the fact that there's, or in the opinion that there's always more than one way to solve a problem. It's just highlighting what's the priority and the driver behind that. But let's see. Arja says, I'm back. My computer crashed. Sorry to hear that, Arja. Man. Or at least it didn't crash while you were questing. That's that could be rough. We'll click on this guy real quick. It says, I think there's a rare rhino spawn here by the sledge. Is it really? Well, you might be right. Let's go this way then. We'll kill this one. I know Jennifer's watching. AH isn't here, but Jennifer's... We're not farming, just so you know. Just throwing that out there. So let's... Oh, no. Let's not kill the rabbit. Let's kill the mob there. And Tootie says, you have to pick your battles. What's important to you? Pretty much. I think that's the biggest key, is just... Not everything's worth a verbal altercation. And you're right. There we go. So appreciate that, Mill. Thank you. So that is correct. We do have a rare rhino out here. I do not believe I've ever seen that thing before. Alright, so we have 4 soul shards. Hopefully this thing doesn't impale us like it does in, what do you want to call it? Northrend? Nice. And we have a chest piece. Very nice. Chest pieces tend to sell pretty decently, actually. He says, I didn't know that was there. It's cool as well. Yep. Thank you for that, Mill. I had no idea that was there. I saw the little indicator on the map, but was half of me was just determined to ignore it, to be honest. With that, we are at... How many of these do we need? Hopefully just one more. Okay. But yeah, the questing has been extremely quick. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do for those early 30s, early 40s leveling, because I think that's the weak point in the leveling process. You just have a lot of slow questing throughout Desolus. Stowe Town is not too bad. It can be a little slow, and then Fairless is okay. Let's go ahead and nuke this guy. And there we go. Mel says, I've hit everywhere out here farming thoriums on a low population server. I gotcha. Are you still doing that these days, or that's just how you used to make gold? Jennifer says, I didn't know either, and me and my friends were just there questing yesterday. Of course, they didn't really rare hunt. One of them is seriously impatient and runs off without me if I take too long. Yeah, it's kind of rough. I try not to do that myself. We stick together pretty good for the most part, right? Yeah. Sometimes I have to tone down my competitive edge, where I try to knock stuff out as quickly as possible, and if you focus on time too much, it does take the fun out of it. So we'll blow this guy up as well. Tootie is laughing at us. And let's see, let's go ahead and nuke this guy. So the reason we could kind of go in and kill this guy. Oh, nope. Do we not have that quest? Oh, we don't. I'm doing this for no reason. Oops. I thought this was the portion of the quest where we have to kill this named mob. So I'm not going to kill him now, because we're going to have to come back and do that. So I just need one more set of spirit beads. So I guess we'll knock out this one then. Normally I try not to farm the spirit beads, just because there's no real advantage in doing so, because you kind of progressively pick them up as you quest. But since we're already here and we only need one, we'll knock them out. Now says, some of the best selling greens gear came from mobs in this zone. Not anymore since Kata. Oops. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Yeah, they still sell semi-decently. Not the higher ends, but I think you start getting your higher end rares, or sorry, higher reward greens in the like the mid 50s. Ungoro is pretty good for that. You can farm the golems in the zone, and those guys will drop some of your Jade Fire or Jade gear, as well as your Conqueror's gear for plate. Anyway, I don't know really what would be equivalently good for the cloth, leather, or mail, but plate's pretty expensive once you get into the mid 50s bracket. It's kind of tempting to have another character on this realm just to send some of this gear too. That way I can learn the transmog, but at the same time the gold's kind of hard to resist. With that, we're going to turn in these two, and then we'll turn in that one back near the cave. Alright, so these two should be done. And there we go. So yeah, we have to go back and kill that chief. But that's not too big of an issue. I think at this point, turn in this quest. And let's see. What else do we have going on? I think the fourth leg of the quest in Argus comes out next week. I think, if I remember the numbers right, there should be a total of like, what, 8 weeks of storyline content? I think that's right. And then maybe a month after that, we will get our Antorus raid. So I guess that gives us, what, a month or two to farm Vil Argonite and play the slot machine, see if we can get our gear to proc. I still need to get a higher level Shadow Relic, and then I think I'm going to work on my trinkets next. See if I can get a higher level trinket, or maybe that Arcano trinket. Take a quick look, just see if we can see anything from here. Looks like nothing. Okay. So we'll go kill the chief and then turn this quest in, and I think it has us go into the next zone of this area. Our next area of this zone. There we go. Jennifer says, careful. I seem to recall Winterfell being mentioned in the dangerous quest. Yeah, there's 2 quests, I believe. One was, let me pull it up. There's 2 quests. One being Echo 3, and then the other one being a named mob. And I don't think we get those until later into the stream. Or not stream, into the zone. But I could be wrong. I don't have this mapped out all too well just yet. And let's see. With that, go ahead and I think the rare, or sorry, not the rare, but the named mob is in this location. I don't believe these guys have respawned yet, so that works out. So we'll nuke them from way back here. He's not hitting too hard, so that's kind of nice. And then Raz says, got the same mech from 3 tokens from Season 5 PvP in the same day. I know exactly what you mean, Raz. That's kind of discouraging. I get that 100%. I think out of the... what? How many Shadow Relics have I gotten? I want to say I've gotten 4 Shadow Relics. They've all been 9/10, and then some of those have been for defensive. So I'm kind of concerned with... we have to turn in both quests over here. Okay. I'm kind of concerned that if I get my Shadow Relic to proc, it's going to be for a tank spec. So hopefully, if that's not enough RNG, in addition to that, all of your relics have different tiers of, I guess, traits. We'll call them traits for lack of better terms. have 3 tiers of traits, and even those will change from relic to relic, even if you've gotten the same relic with the same name. So the RNG with the relics is pretty heavy. Whether that turns into a good thing or bad thing, who's to say? But generally for relics, it's just whatever the higher item level is, the better. But I think that's going to change a little bit. Say if you're DPS and you get a 920 DPS Shadow Relic, is that going to still be better than the 925 tanking relic? Intuitively, you would want to say no, but you know, with the amount of eye level boost that you get from the relics onto your artifact weapon, it's kind of hard to say. Two says, "Oh, Furbolgs, I still have that disguise from a quest where you turn into one." Vanilla quest reward. I remember that one. Yeah, you know, I think I did that one actually. And they didn't turn that into a toy. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't. Most of the toys have a ridiculous cooldown on them anyway, but I thought they might have. Roz says, "Mine didn't change. 3 necks, same stats." Man, that's rough. Sorry, Roz. At least that's why we have our... I guess the good side would be is we have, what, 2 months or more until the next raid? So we'll just keep pulling the RNG lever. Alright, so with that, that's turned in. That's done. Oh, you know what? So this cave, I've DC'd in it twice now. Well, I say twice. On 2 different characters. We've had excellent gameplay from 1 up until this level. But for some odd reason, I'm kind of curious if this cave is just buggy for me, or if it's a bad portion of the questing area. So we're going to have to play that one fairly safe. I think I want to try to avoid it. We'll see if we can avoid it, and then if we can't, we have to do it, we'll do it. But I really don't want to go into that cave and experience a disconnection. I do have a SSD that the game's on, so we can get back quickly, but I think at that point you're kind of counting seconds. So it says RNGesus doesn't love me. That's sad. Sorry to hear that. That is funny though. Perrin says, "When's your Game of Thrones marathon queue?" Oh, that's a good question. What do you think that? I want to say usually we do it when the Blu-ray comes out, but for a couple of years it's been at the beginning of the next year, and then for I want to say this year, or was it last year? We were able to get it the same year, so it might be another month or so before we do the Game of Thrones. Hopefully sooner than later though. I really do enjoy that series. What's going to say is a guy opened 100 relics. 77% were 910, 19% were 920, and 4% were 940 plus. That is a lot of farming. Was it like a PTR, or how did he get so much Argonite? That's insane. I guess you could sit there and farm the chest, but I know you can only kill the rares once a day. That's a lot of good Argonite. Oops. Ran too close to this guy. Georgie says, "I feel kind of sad traveling to Morocco tonight. Definitely going to the Ironman after... going for the Ironman after October 2nd. Oh, will I be allowed to sell items on the auction house?" Yes. So George, if you're joining after 2nd, you definitely don't have to do a Warlock. We're doing the race from the September 1st to September 30th, so pick any class that you feel most comfortable with. And yes, you can absolutely use the auction house. You're good on that. Alright, so with that, I think that's one of the... I don't know if it's a change point or not, but a lot of people have questions with regards to the auction house. It's a gentleman's agreement, Scout's honor, whatever you want to call it. There's really no way to track it, but the request is just don't abuse it. Everything you generate on your character, or everything on your character you want to have generated by your character. So, line of sight. There we go. Moist says PTR, I think. Okay, well, that makes a little more sense. I was going to say, that's insane that he's able to farm that much. It's also a little discouraging that it's a 4% market. That would explain why I've gotten so many 910s, though. I had a feeling it was somewhere in that bracket. I was just hoping it wasn't true, I guess. And Roger says, also PTR. Okay. And with that, knock this out. Torchlight says, latest series of Game of Thrones was AAA, now binging on The Wire. We've actually just started our, we're going to see if we can watch, what is it, The Office, from season 1 to whatever season it ended at, just to catch up on our game shows. That's probably, I haven't seen the whole series, but I've seen a significant portion of it, and probably one of my favorite shows, to be honest. Alright, so we need, how many more of these guys? 3 more. So we're working on 2 series at once. I guess we'll switch to Game of Thrones once we get the DVD or Blu-rays come out. With that, let's go ahead and nuke this one. Sam's getting a little low on health, so we'll get him up there. Or we'll resummon him here in a second. There we go. And number 7 is going to be right here. As much as possible, you do want to be careful with these edges. Sometimes, if you have a pet, I guess that's going to make it more relevant for now, but when you have a pet, if there's not a ledge right here or some sort of ramp, they can walk all the way this way or the opposite direction, pulling everything they come across. So just, pets are dangerous, just be careful with them. Raza says, I'm still using Nighthold set items to do raids with my guildies when I can. What's your item level, Rosvin? I've kind of started to give up my Nighthold gear just because of the item level difference. We were talking close to 30 or 40 item levels, so I did kind of opt to give those away. Memory of this guy who is in this direction. Go ahead and grind our way through here. And Roger says, health funnel. Yeah, the only reason I'm not using health funnel, if I was on a normal Warlock, I absolutely would, but just for the sake of being safe on Ironman challenge, I do not use any spells that pull health away from me. That's just kind of, maybe it's over the top, but it kind of makes me feel safer when I'm not pulling from the only resource that's keeping me alive. The other thing is, doesn't a rare whelpling drop here? To be honest, I doubt it. Usually your whelplings drop off the whelplings. These guys are just kind of old ghosts from some past event. I'm guessing something Night Elfy happened here. But, yeah, no, I don't think there's any whelps over here. I think. Alright, so we're going to start using more of our fire spells. That way we can kind of get the soul shards built up for this guy. There we go. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and get max range and launch 2 of these bad boys. Brad says 906. Oh, very nice. Okay. So yeah, you're going to gear up pretty quick if you focus more in Argus. Like I said, I started in Argus at about 910ish, and just with the Argus gear, I've managed to work my way up to 926, and that's not doing any sort of rating. Em says, "Hey, damn, you're level 51 now. Very nice. Thank you, Em. Good morning, by the way. How are you doing? Welcome back to the stream. Yeah, we're doing fairly well. It's closing in on 52 here. And we need to kill these guys now. Let's see. George says Azure, Dark is in. Oh, Azure. Gotcha. Are those whelps here? I don't think they are. The dark one's from Anexia, like Raz says. And let's blow this guy up. William says, I'm guessing something healthy happened here. Yeah, there's always some level of ruins that these guys are dealing with. I feel like the whole story behind Night Elves is like a horror story. Either they've tampered with a power that they're not supposed to deal with, or an opposing faction has come through and ransacked them, or bad weather's happened. Just have a kind of a sad storyline the whole time. Wolf says, hey, it's been a long time since I was last in Winter Spring. Yeah, I want to say I know there's blue whelpling somewhere. It might be more so in Winter Spring. Not Winter Spring, but Kodara. We're going to summon Sam. That way we get full health and light this guy up. Then Moist. Oh no. George says Badlands. What about the blue whelplings? Those are either going to be in Northrend, I believe. We don't need to kill that guy. We need to go this way. M says, doing good. Glad you haven't died. Me too. Thank you. We managed to level, like I said, really quick. We started this morning at 45, and we're hitting right about the 3.5 hour mark, and we're at probably 25% from 52. So that's not bad. Hopefully tomorrow will kind of continue the pace. We'll see what all that tomorrow has to offer. Not tomorrow, sorry, Monday. We're off tomorrow. Oh, for those that are new to the channel, by the way, that might have been confusing. We do take Sundays off just to kind of take a break and then allow me to get stuff done in real life. Most of which is school at the moment, but we do take Sundays off. But we'll be back Monday with an extended stream. For now, we're going to turn in this quest over here and see if there's anything. We'll come back to that. See if there's anything rare in that location. Let's see. Horizon says, as a drop from Winter Spring from any mob since Kata. Okay. I did not know that. Let's go ahead and turn this in. I think we have to run up the waterfall at this point. George says, my idea was any gold I earn with AH I can use, no items, no potions, just the gold. Yeah, so George, or Georgie should I say, you can absolutely use the auction house. It's just like I said, there's no way for them to track it, so it's more or less operate the auction house with the with what you'd feel like, I guess in reference of being content if you made it to 110, being that I do not see the rare here. Meaning that if you think you would feel bad because you felt like you got an edge because you had a friend purchase a linen cloth for 1,000 gold apiece, you know, then don't do it. Like I said, there's really no way for them to track that, but it's a personal challenge, so just do what. Oops, let's stay out of the way of that. Focus on escaping all this here. So we'll dot this guy up and then make our way across. I'm not sure why Sam's not hitting him. It would be nice if he contributed to this fight. There we go. And this was almost knocked out here. There we go. Alright, so with that, we do have the little shard, and we can head back. That's kind of a wide patrol area. And George says, my main is Demon Hunter, so I don't have many leathers to worry about if I run Demon Hunter. Yeah, and that's kind of the other thing about it is you do come across a lot of grains, so if nothing else, the Ironman challenge has allowed me to catch up on a lot of greens that I would had to otherwise spend a lot of gold on. There we go. So that's been kind of nice. Also in the fact that it's actually helped me learn to play the class. So that's turned in, that's done. And off we go to the capital here, Everlook. Let me not ag I aggro that anyway, okay. Right, says line of sight. Yeah, maybe Sam was did have a line of sight issue. I know he's bugged out a couple mobs once or twice whenever we jump on, say, a log or some sort of ruins. The raised elements kind of tend to bug them out a good bit. Raid structure says. George says, man, if I run a monk. Oh, I got you. Yeah, plus monks are actually a pretty strong class from what I hear, especially the tanking version. I think Dalaran Gaming plays a monk for the Ironman challenge, and the CC ability, I think it's called paralysis or acupuncture, whatever the little needles are. Paralysis? Is it? Okay. Paralysis actually keeps your one mob completely CC'd for however long. What's that?
Although I like acupuncture.
So yeah, maybe they'll rename it to acupuncture. Let's see. Raz says, I hated the time when you had to have at least 2 bags full of soul shards for 3 expansions. Yes, that and the hunter weapons, like the bullets and the, what do we call it, the arrows. That was a pain to carry around. You almost had to have a massive bag just to be able to carry that around. Alright, so with that, what's that? They had a pouch?
Yeah. This one arrow.
Oh, but the pouch took up a bag slot, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember when they had a separate little mini bag for all your keys. That didn't last too long. I don't even think that made it through a whole expansion. Let's see. The Laughing Yeti is now our home, so we're good there. We'll grab this quest. Voice says, many changes have been good, like Hunter's not needing to carry ammo. Yep. And Hardy says, level 32. Very nice, Hardy. Grats. What's your playtime so far? Let's go ahead and turn this in here. And that's done. So that is level 52. There we go. Nice. So that's a, let me grab the flight path real quick. But for the most part, I think this is a pretty good stopping point. Like I said, this is going to be this is a normal stream in a sense. It's anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. We're stopping right in the middle. We did make it to 52. So that was really faster than I expected. So that wasn't bad at all. So as soon as we grab this flight path, I guess since we're not logging back on, we're going to use the Hearthstone just to get back up in there. I am going to log out with, let's see, outside of the inn, just so we don't build up the rest of XP. So we'll do that here. And there we go. It says 12 hours. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Rosin says, yep, but Hunters in 2.4.3 got the legendary bow. You say Hunters. Very, not many. That didn't require the ammo, and you had the key ring for the whole of Burning Crusade. Yeah, I think if anything, that weapon was just like somewhat of a trial, just to see if ammoless stuff was an option, because it did give hunters a significant disadvantage in bag space. Excuse me. Paradin says, thanks again for stream, Q. See you Monday. Thanks again, Paradin, as well. Let's go ahead and put this up. So we did make it to 52 today. Thank you guys for being a part of the stream so far. It's it says what's halfway to level 110, about 75, 80. As far as time goes, yeah, that's about right. I think I'm expecting 110 to take about 8 days of playtime, and I was at 3.5 days at 85, so that's about right. What says, see you guys, good chatting with y'all, see you Monday. Alright, Moist Games, you have a great one. Harja, you have a great one as well. Good luck leveling. Don't die. But as far as us, that's it for today, guys. That's 7 levels in 3.5 hours, so that's pretty efficient for the most part. Other than that, I think that's about it for today. So as always, thank you guys for being a part of the stream. It's a lot of fun with everyone participating and talking in the chat. Thank you again for the wave of likes and subscriptions this morning. So until then, you guys have a great rest of the day. Have a good weekend. Have a safe weekend. And I will see you first thing in the morning Monday. Alright guys, take care. Have fun.